Right. Apologies for the delay. Keiko and Yankin, can you hear?
Yeah.
Keiko, did you see what I sent you?
Oh yeah, I did.
Is that okay?
I think I might need explanation for the locals thing.
Right.
What 2 square root should be fine.
Here, let me see. Yeah. So in the Jamboard, yeah, Yankin, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
All right. Did you receive what I sent?
It's about the exam date.
No, before the schedule, the mean and standard deviation.
Let me check.
All right. Please test that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for Keiko, we are at page 18, right? Hey, no. Page 18. Okay. Right.
Okay. I see it.
Yeah. All right. So please test it out. Yeah. So
Yeah.
page 18, you're okay, Keiko?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just rationalizing in a way that the bottom will be root 3able lah. So it's not that complicated. So.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So what we were discussing is the vector, right? Okay. So I was doing it another way until I realized you're already doing it very well using the ratio method. I wasn't using the ratio method, and I still end up the same thing as yours, right? Okay. So I just put in everything that I have from the line and the plane, right? Is that obvious? That was what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because your OU is actually the line, and your OV is actually the plane in vector form, right? So those two forms are very combinable, right? They are very easily combined. So that's why I choose those forms. So happens you already prepared it for me, right? So happens the plane you didn't use the for example the dot product form, something like that, right? The dot product form is harder to combine with the line, so I would revert back to the vector form, which I say is very useless. Well, this is the time where it shines, right?
I mean, I was really planning to do that, but I also didn't know what was it that they wanted. So yeah.
Yeah. So I also don't know what they wanted, but turns out that my guess was wrong. My guess is that it's not a plane. So it turns out that it's very clearly a plane, largely because the 210 and the 210 is the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the reason. If it is not, then it is not a plane. Whatever it is, is not a plane. Right? So again, I'm just combining the point, the alpha and the what we call it, lambda here, which simply becomes a new parameter, and this one also is a new parameter. So, well, voila lah, it's very easily confirmed as a plane.
Wait, so is this the final answer?
Yeah. I mean, I will have to combine these numbers, and I'll just represent this as theta, blah blah blah. But yeah lah, this is the final answer.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, because the format is clearly what we recognize, which is a plane, which is doesn't mean that it's correct lah, but at least it's something that I can say something about in A level.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but then what about the reflection?
Oh, I mean, that's not difficult at all. That's not difficult. Reflections are something you expect to happen. Whatever, it can be a reflection of a line, it can be a reflection of a plane, it can be a reflection of a point. The point is a reflection about a certain plane, because a reflection, must be either about a certain plane or about a certain line or even about a certain point. That's also possible. That's also possible. Okay. So he wants us to reflect the W against the plane. Well, it's reflecting a plane against another plane, right?
Yeah.
Nothing complicated lah. First of all, we can only already imagine that the other guy will also be a plane. Right? That's the easy part to imagine, correct?
Yeah.
So, and the plane will be parallel also. So, straight away, that plane is simply normal. They're simply having the same normal as, as the original. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So plane here, the reflected plane there.
So I just need to find another point on that plane.
Which is to say, I will just use a point, which I'll just use this point. I just use this point and reflect it on the plane pi, right? Instead of reflecting a full plane, I just reflect this point because the normal is already known.
I see. Okay. I
Right.
get it.
Yeah. Then the reflection will be, you need to construct a line, blah, 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 and you find the foot, blah, 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 la, 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 yeah. You still have to do all that, but it's not difficult to imagine.
Okay.
Okay.
Can.
So give it a try. And do I owe you anything else? No, right?
No.
Besides the question 9, page 19, besides page 19 later, right? You tell me when you're done. So Yankin, does it solve our problem?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so it was just a careless mistake.
Yeah, that's what
okay, never mind. It's okay. Meaning to say your concept was strong enough, no? I mean, it's not a difficult concept. This question is not it's not complicated, but you also didn't do it wrongly. It's just a careless mistake. For now, we can say that. Okay. Right. So keep that in mind. Maybe next time you will need to look for a careless mistake. That's just happened. Do I owe you anything else?
No, but I have a question on page 2.
Yes. So I'm looking at part 1 and then part 2. Factory A, factory
All three parts I have some problem, but
Are you talking about part 2? Sorry.
all three.
All 3? There's a 3 part. Oh, part 1, part 2, A to B, right?
Yeah.
Right. So part 1 first, right? So let me see your working. Again, videos, please, guys. Okay, so I'm seeing part. Is that part 1? Sorry. All right. Would you move to the left a little bit, please? So I can just copy them a little bit more. Yeah, that's very wonderful. Okay, so I'll make this smaller. So I'll read it very quickly. Nuts assume, okay, they don't give you the mu and they don't give you the standard deviation. Okay, normal, right? And then random sample of 50. 50 is okay, right? Because the population is already normally distributed, right? That's why the random sample of 50 is okay. Then it's given that the probability, the mean mass is la 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 la. Blah blah blah, same thing lah. No. Yeah lah, same thing. Okay, right. So just a little bit complication. So you will have the mu. Right.
See, I don't know if I did all this properly, all the P properly. I might fucked it up.
Wait. So yeah. So you are talking about again. We're talking about the sample, right? We're talking about the sample, correct?
Yeah.
Not the population, right? So I'm not sure about the 50 mu and everything, but I'm looking at this immediately, this thing, right? This thing, no? So obviously the sample mu seems to be mu, right?
Yeah.
Seems to be mu, and then there's a standard deviation of that mu because it's not very certain where it is, right? So this is where I'm looking at. Yeah, that seems fine. This seems fine. Yeah, that was the mistake I made. So this seems fine. Right, then this is where's your inverse result? Your in what?
My inverse result is this is the Z and then the inverse is here.
Okay,
and then this is Z and the inverse is here.
Let me check for a while. So yeah. I suppose you can inverse whatever the mean itself or the total mass itself. That's the same thing. And then I think you choose to inverse the what? Oh no, I think actually that's far away. Wait, there's an error. There's an error somewhere here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, there isn't. No, there isn't. The reason why I say that is because look at me doing something. Maybe it looks weird. 50 over 50. Now, obviously, 50 over 50 is just 1, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm just doing nothing to the left-hand side, right? Actually, I'm just doing nothing. So, but if I do that, then it will be 50 times 247, which is rather big, right? Comparable to your 12,000 minus 50 mu, which is not a coincidence. That's your 50 mu. And then over, this will also be root 50, right? Equals to, obviously, the right-hand side remains unchanged. There's nothing that needs to be done on the right-hand side. Right. So judging from this, the left-hand side seems okay to me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
All right.
I just changed this guy into the total mean instead of just the mean. That's what I did.
Then again, sorry, the total mean instead of.
No, total mean. Sorry. Total mass. What I'm talking about. Total mass. Sorry, total mass. This is the total mass variation, right? This is the total mass one. This is the mean mass, right? Mean mass.
Yeah.
So I just changed the mean into the total mass kind of thing by times 50 and times 50, which yeah, it's up. You see, both are the same, right? The bottom is the same, the top looks comparable, right? I hope this makes some sense.
Fine.
Right. So the left-hand side seems okay with me. Maybe there are other kinds of mistake, but in general, it seems right. Now and then less than 247 is 18%, right? And then exceed. Okay, sorry. So I don't see you draw the graph. To me, I'm very uncomfortable with not drawing the graph. So it's just my personal preference. So I'm just going to draw this, right? So that's my new. Less than 247 is 18. So it looks to me that this 247 is here. And this is my 18%, right? It's my 18%, right? That looks like. And then total mass exceeding the probability, total mass exceeding 12,600 is 78%. So 78% feels like that. So there is my 78%, correct?
78.
Total mass exceeding 12,000. Yeah, this is my 78%, right? 78%, and this is my 12,600. Sorry, divided by 50. Sorry.
Can you plot these on the same graph? Because are they like different?
On the same graph? Yeah, I can.
Nothing.
I don't have to, but I can.
Never mind.
Right. Am I making some sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that's my 78% and my 12,600 divided by 50. Could you give me a number of what that is? 12,600 divided by 50 is just to give me some idea.
252.
252, right? 252, which is slightly more than 247, which makes some sense here. Right? And both are on the left-hand side of the mu. So I'm more comfortable after I draw this. I don't know why you draw this at the previous question, but you didn't draw it here. If you're comfortable with your method, that's fine. But I still strongly suggest that you draw it. Right?
Okay.
So 252, and looks like nothing seems to be. Oh, you're not.
Oh no, what I do?
Well, let me think carefully. Let me think carefully. You put this as mu. Oh, wait. This makes sense. Right. So 247 minus mu is a minus. Yeah. This guy minus this guy is a minus also. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because it is on the left-hand side of the mu, correct? It makes a lot of sense. Because the mu in this case is 0, right? The standardized version, the z is equal to 0. So this one means it's on the left, and this one is even further left. So at least my drawing seems to agree with your working. I don't know how much, but it seems to be agreeing.
Okay.
Right? But minus 2.10 is minus 2 standard deviation. Is that 18%? That's the part that I'm unsure. This number seems wrong. This number seems wrong. The reason is because, remember, in the z, this is 0, right? So 1 minus 1, right? And then minus 2, 2, and then 3, minus 3. All these are minus 1, 2, 3 standard deviation, remember?
Yes.
So the middle one is how many percent?
Middle one is I think it's
almost
70.
71. So let's put it at 70. And then both the two here is 95%, right? Correct?
55.
Correct. So the 3 is 99.9, if I'm mistaken, right? Something like that. Correct?
Yeah.
Now my point is 2 standard deviation. That means this part here is 2.5%, and this part is 2.5%, correct? Because that's 5% divided by 2 lah.
Total mass why do we split into?
From -2 to 2 is 95%, understand? So this and this together is 5%, also split to 2 lah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Correct. Makes sense, right? So I did ask you to memorize this value, and for a while you did use them lah. Now this bothers me because you're saying that this is -2.10, so this is slightly to the left of -2, but instead of less than 2.5%, which is small, this one is supposed to have 18%. That bothers me quite a lot. Maybe I misunderstand something here, but that bothers me quite a lot.
0.018, so it's 1.8%.
Oh, it is 1.8%. So that was my mistake. And so therefore you are correct, isn't it? That makes sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then your numbers all seems to make sense, right? All your numbers seems to make sense, right? So then if this 2 is making some sense, that means we're just dealing with algebra already, right?
Yeah, that was my guess. I could be wrong though.
Why don't you just do it my way, right? So you just 50 times 50, right? You did find an answer already. I'm sorry. You did find an answer already. So what was wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with the answer?
The answer is 27 standard deviation. I haven't found the mu yet, but I have a feeling it will not be 255, like what they say. Yep.
Let me see your
Should I post the answers on the Jamboard?
What did you do there? 50? No, you're correct. No, 50 times that's correct. No, what you did is correct. What you did is correct. Well, I'm sorry. How did this line get to this line? How did that happen? How did this get?
I multiplied 50 by 247.
You multiply 50 by 247.
So that's 12350.
And then
I subtracted 12600.
With that, right? Okay, great. Okay, great. And then what?
Then afterwards, I think I've seen a mistake.
What nonsense! You did 2 mistakes.
I didn't multiply 50 by here, so it is 50 times 2.
And you didn't realize another mistake. You make 2 mistakes. What are you doing?
Okay.
You make another mistake. Find the mistake.
Really? Damn it.
Try again.
Okay, let me use it. Let me try that again.
Keiko, okay? So far?
Yeah, I managed to.
Okay. Right. All right, got it. All right, so that solves the problem. Now question 8, is it? On page 19.
Yeah, part 4.
Part 4, let me read first. So there's this piecewise. Wait, is this piecewise? No, it's not. Sorry. So okay, sure. Right.
I don't know if it's the answer key or what lah, but the answer key's answer didn't make sense to me. Because firstly, it's already like absolute, right? But it's still below the x-axis.
is G composite H composite half X. Hmm? Hmm? Oh, yeah, okay, right. So, okay, let's deal with this first. So, you tell me whether you have learned this or not. So I'm just because I'm not totally sure. So HX compared to H half X, right? So this is like widening the X by twice, correct? That's expanding the X by twice.
Yes.
Correct,
Yes.
Okay, so this one. Okay. Now I'm fitting I'm fitting this guy into G, right? Now, notice that G will receive the H here, correct? That's how he will receive the H half X, correct? So there's a modifier minus M here. First, the minus lah. So the minus clearly is a reflection already. Minus X. Minus X is a reflection on the y-axis, on the x-axis.
Sorry?
Minus X is a reflection on the x-axis or the y-axis.
Y-axis.
Sorry.
What y-axis?
Oh yeah. Wait, let me think for. Am I missing anything? Wait. Oh. Oh, goodness me. Let me do something. Let me check something. Okay, so. Ooh, the line is always difficult. So which one to do? Well, the way you do GH doesn't seem to be right. So I'll just explain it this way.
Okay.
Yankin, that cleared the problem, yes?
Yes, it did. I'm still waiting for part 2 here. I don't know how to. I'll let you this first.
Right. So you can do something else, right? So
Yeah.
let's start with the H half X first, because you're supposed to do from H half X. So that's already my biggest concern. You're supposed to do from the right to the left, because the input starts from the right to the left. You seem to go from left to right. That is not right. It's not. That makes sense?
Yes. Okay.
So I'm supposed to, if you like to do it your way, then I'll do this lah. Instead of thinking of the transformation, I'll do it this way. Okay. Okay. So far, so good, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna add my G, right? My G will be this minus M lah, plus 1 lah, correct? Just by this, it should be very clear that this is all positive and suddenly it becomes all negative. Look. Should be clear, yeah?
Oh.
So it's a flip somehow with an expansion, and then the plus 1 is to lift him up 1 lah. Right? And therefore, I think the drawing of the answer key definitely makes sense. It just needs to be a bit more wide. No, wait. Yeah, it's a bit more. No, it's a shrink. It's a shrink. But the point is, the general shape is about right now.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So your order is wrong. Wait, how come you don't know this? Wait. Really?
I don't think we actually practice like writing the composite function.
Oh, sorry. You do not practice writing the composite function? Sorry?
Yeah, we don't practice writing composite functions.
Oh, really? You don't actually, for example, huh?
Like it's always a proof that the composite function exists and find the range or domain. But yeah, we never actually had to
write FG, for example. Oh, here's G, here's F. Or find FG. Never.
Not really. No, I don't recall.
Oh dear. Okay, let's do this. Let's just give a simple practice, right? Because you know Fg means G inputted to F. That much you at least know, right?
Yeah.
Right. So find Fgx, right? So another one. So F, I'll give you Fx as whatever. I'm randomly inventing stuff, right? Okay. So find your Fgx, please. So Yankin, you have part.
Yeah, part 2A.
Okay,
I don't know how to do defer, because I remember that defer was like it can be more than or less than, right? So I don't know. I don't know where to proceed.
Defer from 3 times. Oh, then both tail.
Yeah, that's something how I do.
But could you at least draw something?
Oh yeah, sure, I guess.
Right? Why don't, when things are hard, why don't you draw? Right? Not when things are easy, right? So what you did, Keiko was yellow something like that. Yellow. You put the G into the F, yeah, which is not what you did in the part 4.
I did the opposite.
Yes, you did not. Right. Okay. I mean, just like that. All right. Okay, good. Feel free to go and do chemistry if you want to.
Oh, okay.
Like you were doing chemistry, right?
Yes.
What do I put as the? See, I don't know. I don't know if this is a minus.
Let me see. Okay.
Like, is it D minus 3n or 3n minus b? Because either one can be the defer, and I'm pretty sure
Mass of a randomly chosen bolt differs from 3 times the mass of a randomly chosen.
it could be like D minus 3n or 3n minus b, right? And like either one would be valid.
Correct.
Or one would be like -5 and one would be 5. But like the mu wise, the sigma I don't think will change.
Right. First, I draw something that is, I think, easier to understand, but that's not the preferred way of doing things by the tutorial. So, this is let's say I'm gonna randomly choose bolt. So I'll say that this is my bolt, right? So my bolt is 745, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm not just choosing a bolt. I'm choosing a bolt and a nut, right? So randomly chosen bolt differs from 3 times the randomly chosen nut. So now 3 times the mass of a randomly chosen nut, first of all, it's 750, right? So 3 times nut, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So differs from 3 times the randomly. No, wait a minute. No, this is simpler. Right? So this is my bolt, and this is 750, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot. Yeah, I obviously I will not be able to do it this way because this doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm gonna combine them now. Now, first I'll deal with the nut. I'll deal with the nut bigger than the bolt because at least mu-wise that seems to be the case. Okay. So 3 mu nut, right? 3 mu nut minus mu bolt, right? That's my new mu lah. So that's my total mu, whatever lah.
5,
right? Which is equals to 5. And then the new standard deviation is blah, 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 right?
15 square plus 3 square. So
correct. So, and then you do this first, you do this one first, and then you will do the other way separately lah. This is now learning. There's nothing speedy with it. We just learn how to deal with this. Does this make sense, right? So, if you have 2 options, if you don't know how to do it, then just do both separately for now. Okay, cool. Right. Any question on the chemistry so far?
Okay, I sometimes get a bit confused with KSP.
Are you showing me that? I don't.
No.
No, wait. You want to settle something and you haven't.
Sorry?
The shadow formula, the
Oh, right,
projection.
yeah, I sent that to you. Okay. Yes.
Oh, you did. Sorry. Oh, yeah. There you go. So this is from your note, right?
Yeah.
Okay, first thing first, it's not just B cross N, right? It's the magnitude of B cross N, right? The magnitude of B cross N.
That's
Now,
the length of the projection. If it's just projection, then don't need to put the absolute. That's what they say.
Are you sure?
Okay, let me open
Are
up.
you sure about that? Look at your note. Does that come before this or after that? Are you sure about that? Did you just assume something?
Wait. Like the magnitude?
The magnitude? No, the magnitude is clear. The magnitude is clear to me. When it is only vector, you mentioned, right? When it's only vector, then just don't do the absolute sign. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Check again, because your note usually continues on from the...
No, it's just another thing after that already.
Oh, okay, let's see before this.
Before it's another thing also.
There's not...
Okay,
your note is very weird.
For reflection, projection of line onto another line, if there's no absolute, then it's a vector.
Yeah, which is not the shadow vector. That one I can guarantee you, because I just shown you using the graphic. I never thought so anyway. Right? Okay, let's look at your note. Let's look at your note, and later we change Jane. Yankin, are you okay?
I did 3n plus minus b. Should I do b minus 3n now?
Go up first.
Oh.
Right. So there's an answer. Oh, really? It's only 1%, really?
I guess.
Oh, because the mu itself is already 5, right?
I could draw
it's kind of small. It's kind of small. It's kind of small already, lah.
The standard deviation is like 15, so
Yeah.
Get to 40.
So yeah, do it the other way, lah. So do it the other way. Yep.
But the other way, do I do less than or more than 40? Which is what I'm not sure. Because here, right, I know the value is probably going to be positive. So I don't know where.
No, it's also bigger than 40. So it's now b minus 3n bigger than 40.
Oh,
b
because
minus
you're
3n.
looking for the...
Yeah, it's 40. It's
yeah.
still 40. And you'll find a very small answer. But just try.
Okay.
I hope it makes sense instead of, you memorizing it. I think this happens twice already. You actually asked me this twice now. Wait, let me shift the page. Let me shift the page to before. So now it's page 17. Picture, let you appear, please. Your note is very weird, yeah? Other notes contain explanation on why this is correct. Yours doesn't seem to contain any explanation at all. Wow. So, something wrong.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, okay, go. Yeah.
Your
note is very weird. I didn't expect your note to be like this. I didn't expect. Okay, so I'll try to explain. Sorry. So the B is there. There is a plane, right? There's a plane. So the plane is around there. So I'll just put the plane there, around there. That's my n unit, right? And then the theta is Let's call this length of projection LP, right? Just to make it simple, right? Now let's use normal trigonometry. So normal trigo, yeah. So this is like EMAT trigo, right? EMAT trigo. So our EMAT trigo says that sine theta will be equal to LP over the side B lah, right? Side B,
Yeah.
right? So which is to say LP over for the length of vector B. Sorry, the length of vector B lah, right?
Yes.
Right. So then LP, the length of projection, will be sine theta, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Conveniently, for some strange reason, if I add this this guy as like that, this is just one, correct?
Mm. Yeah.
And this conveniently does become the magnitude of B cross N, right? Conveniently, very conveniently, right? This is the shortest explanation I can give you right now.
I see.
Right? However, if I eliminate this, I don't think this becomes the LP factor. I don't think so.
Okay.
Right? I don't think so. I don't think I can even explain this as in because I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. Okay? I don't think that's right. Because what I use to justify this is simple EM trigonometry. EM trigonometry contains no vector, no direction, just length of sides. So I have to stick with that lah. Right? The length of side is like that, and I cannot just eliminate this to jump into vector. I didn't. I have to do something else in order to get the projection vector. I have to do something else. Okay. Now, if you're interested in doing that something else, which your note doesn't seem to be interested in giving you, then we go there because I see a lot of notes do that. The notes kind of give you a more complete picture of the projection. Your note does not do that at all. Like, really does not do that at all.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want it, then we go there. If not, then just know that you did learn something today lah. So do you want or not?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll come back to you later. I have to check Yankin. So Yankin, did you do the B minus 3n?
Okay, I got an answer.
Let me see. Sorry. Go. Yeah. So your B minus 3n bigger than 40 is something smaller than 1%. Yeah, very good. Okay, that's expected lah. That's expected.
Yeah.
So
adding them together, didn't do that wrong. But my answer I got 0.0127 isn't the same as theirs. Theirs is 0.0214.
0.0214.
So I think I made a very critical error somewhere.
214 is too far from the 111. The 111 is our source, right? Again, because why? Because we know that 3n minus b is because 3n is naturally bigger than b. Naturally doesn't mean always, right? But naturally, right?
Yeah.
So if you reverse b minus 3n, you'll expect that to be a very minuscule possibility. I mean, you already expect b to be smaller than 3n. Can b be bigger than 3n?
I
can lah, but I doubt, which is reflected in the possibility, right? Reflected in the possibility is less than 1%. I actually expect it to be less than 0.1%. So let's concentrate on 3n minus b first. Let's see whether there are some careless mistake before I find it again for you, right?
2 square plus 3 square is, it is 2, 3, 4. Minus 750 minus 75. 745. I see my mistake.
Okay. Yep.
So that's 15 square minus 7.3 squared. Okay. Plus 7.3 squared.
Right. So I'll leave that to you, yeah?
Yeah, that's on me.
Right. Okay. So then Kiko. Right. So what I need to explain is this guy. Do I use the dot or do I use the cross?
So that's 40.
Oh, you can't. No, you can't. You can't using this one. Anything called. Oh, right. Okay, right. So I'm gonna explain it like this, Keiko. Right. So this length of projection is extremely useful if you could just have the unit vector. I'm calling this N2 lah, or NP lah. The unit vector of this direction. If I have the unit vector, not the vector, the unit vector of this direction is this magnitude times unit vector, it will give me this. That's how useful a magnitude is. You combine it with a. Am I making any sense now? This is basic. This is a discussion before projection. It's not meant to be discussed here, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So if I could just get the unit vector in this direction, right? If I could just do that lah. Can I do? Oh dear, I can't. Wait, let me think. Given all this, can I? Oh dear, I can't. Because I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. If I don't know what that is, I cannot find the vector here, and therefore I cannot find the unit vector there. Okay, right. So my conclusion is, if you don't have this, and the note or the question seems to be set up in a way that you don't know this, right? You don't know this, then you can't. Other lecture notes will explain a slightly different thing in projection, which is to say, here's my B, and here is my A, right? So I have a B and an A instead of a normal, and then the shadow of B to A, or vice versa. So this is a slightly different setup from what we see here.
This is a plane, right?
No, there is no plane so far here. There is no plane so far. There are only two lines.
Oh, okay.
There are only two lines. So I am projecting. I'm projecting B onto another vector. So the B casts shadow onto A. Onto A here, or the A casts shadow onto B. Vice versa, you can do it. Now with this thing, instead of having the normal on this side, you will have the vector. You have the vector where you project to, and this one you can do more. You can do more. This setup, yeah, I don't think you can do anything else. So you simply can't. Now here's my question. Yes, you're saying. You're saying.
No, so if this appears in exam, I have to resort to like the things I may have found already in the question.
Again,
like just now,
what you need.
Pythagoras.
What you need is a vector of some sort here. There's a very specific need. You need that. The moment you have the vector here, you can unitize it and then times the length.
Okay.
But of course, the question just now gave you something else. So it's good to know that you can't. So either have this or have something else that the question gives you. That is also the learning, I suppose.
Okay.
Now, before I go to Yankin, my question is, your lecture notes should have given you this kind of thing. This is a slightly different setup for projection. Don't your question have this?
It's in a completely different set of notes.
So it does exist.
It does, yeah.
Okay. So so I'm no longer confused, right? So this is more like a bonus, lah. It's more like a bonus. A bonus. Memorize it in a way that you know its limitation.
Okay.
Everything that you memorize must be done that way. Right? I'll go to Yankin then. So Yankin, did that solve some problem?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so it was a careless mistake. So the concept was how do I say, the other guy, which is smaller, does it help you make the answer perfect?
Yes, it does. Where is it?
Oh, it does, isn't it? It does, isn't it? So it does make it 0.0214, lah, right? It does.
It's like, focus.
Did you learn something? This is expected from exam, you know.
Yeah,
Right? I hope this makes sense.
I think so. Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. Go ahead then.
Part B, I think.
Uh,
I thought it was binomial, but it was not. And I don't even know how to form the binomial if it was.
oh, yeah. You haven't been practicing by now. Okay. Right. Find the probability that total mass out is okay, right. So this factory introduces a new process, blah, 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 blah. Just by the phrasing, it is very important to acknowledge that this is not hypothesis.
Yeah.
Like I think already tested it and it becomes correct. So we just use it. So again, because the wording can sometimes continue to, you are tasked to test. So, become hypothesis testing. So just saying it, right? Okay, so
I think it's the formation of the normal distribution I'm getting hung up on, because I don't know if I can say, for example, the total is 2.24. Does that mean the individual is like 224 grams?
it doesn't matter.
Do they mean that or do they not? Like, I'm not sure.
Right. So let's say your 225, 4.5 square is correct. Yeah. That's your new normal, right?
0.9, yeah.
So then instead of treating it as a 2.24, no, you can say that. You can say that. Sorry. If you're not comfortable in saying that, so one nut is 0.224, because obviously it's not. I know it's obviously not, but we never say that individual nut is 0.224. We are saying that the expected value of individual nut is a very fancy way of saying the average lah. But we never say that the individual nut is 0.224 because 0.224 doesn't exist. It's a concept.
Oh.
Does that make some sense? So like the average of the height of your family member is somewhere in between your father and your sister, something like that, maybe.
Okay.
All right. Does that make sense? Like you have 5 family members, right? So no, you know that you know relative height. So where's the average? Where does the average lie? In between who?
Between the tallest and shortest, I guess.
No. Go tighter in between number 2 and number 3, or number 3 and number 4. Go tighter. It's not number 3, right? The average is not number 3. Correct?
No.
So it's just slightly below or slightly above that. So slightly below number 3 or slightly above number 3.
Slightly below.
Okay, then between number 2 and number 3, but closer to number 3. That's the average one. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Does a person with that height exist in your family?
No.
Yeah. It's a concept one. It's a very useful concept. But it's a concept lah. A person doesn't need to exist with that height. So all your family members will not have the mu, but the mu is still there. The bowl of the randomly chosen, all 10 of them, does not have 0.224. You are correct. It will be more or less than 0.224. If it is exactly 0.224, it's a very unlikely chance to be exact. But it doesn't matter. You can still say it's 224 gram. Okay. Now, if you're very uncomfortable with that conceptually, because it's correct, but conceptually you're not comfortable, then you just go for 225 times 10. No? You just make another normal law that encompasses 10. No? that might be easier conceptually. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right. So instead of dealing with 225 4.5 square, then you just 2250, right? And then you change the standard deviation accordingly also. Right. The end result will be the same. Okay.
All right.
I don't think it's binomial. Yeah, I don't think so. It doesn't have to be binomial, sorry, more likely.
Okay, then I'll try something else.
Yeah. The probability, the total. Yeah. I mean, seriously, this is just drawing this is, oh wait. You actually found the answer already. Is 3.7. Yeah, it's 37.1. I'm not sure how the number is very nice, but 37.1 is the answer.
Is it?
Wait, let me think. Let me think for a while. Let me think for a while. How come it's too easy?
I don't think it is. I can check the answers, but I'm not going to.
The standard deviation is 4.5. Yes. So
Yeah.
there is definitely. Actually, now that I think of it, you should probably go the time 10 route. Actually, now I think of it.
The what?
Right. So times 10 route. So if it is 10 randomly chosen nut, right? So
plus. So it's just times 10 to the mean
and the standard deviation.
Times 10 to the mean and just times 10 to the standard deviation, don't need to square it.
So the standard deviation is
no
now
squaring, just times
45. It's just 45. Really.
Like 4.5 squared. That's a standard deviation for this one.
4.5 square is not standard deviation. 4.5 square is a variation. Is variation, not standard deviation.
Yeah, standard deviation 4.5.
No, if it is times 10.
So if it is 10 times 4.5 square, because you multiply the variance, right?
Right, and then the standard deviation will change a little bit. So it's a square root 10.
Not good number.
Okay, yeah. So why don't you try that instead? So why don't you try using 2250, right? 2250 and 10 times that, yeah. And then try looking at it again. Right?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Right. So, Keiko, next question.
I think I have no more questions.
Good for now, right? So, so definitely for the 5 days, it's too much anyway for you. I'm considering that it's also too much for you. So you'll be attending today, and then what else?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow at
Saturday and Sunday, the first session only.
Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, the first session only.
Wait.
Tomorrow also. Wait, tomorrow also one session only.
Tomorrow both.
Tomorrow both. So today both, tomorrow both, and then
Saturday one, Sunday.
Oh yeah, correct. So that one, that's 3. Okay, I thought it's 2.5. Okay, 3. Right. Okay, so for tomorrow and Saturday, Sunday, correct, right? Is that more than enough for your questions?
I mean, I thought I would have a lot more from the papers.
I mean, you haven't asked KSP lah. Yeah, I mean, you always said that you wanted, but you never asked any question. So why don't you just go straight to the problem if you have a problem? Like maybe you go to your notes or maybe go to your tutorials, right? Maybe you do that. Is it okay, Yankin?
Yeah, it is.
Right. So it ends up being okay. Could you pull up?
Oh yeah.
Pulling up there. Yeah. That looks like a more reasonable answer. So it turns out to be correct.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Oh yeah. This is expected. I would say. Isn't this expected lah in a way?
Expected.
What is the confusion?
Graph. If I plot the graph, I think so, because 2240 is right next to it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's right next to it.
Right next to it, but with a much bigger standard deviation, right? Much bigger standard deviation.
So it'll be like just
next to it lah. Yeah. Does that mean it's 24%? I don't know. I mean, it seems to be more than that, but if it is correct, then it's correct. No? Sorry, 202 is not standard deviation. Why do you keep saying that? That's the variation. What nonsense are you talking about? Yeah, the standard deviation is not 202.
No, okay, that means, wait, let me think about it again. So standard deviation is 14.
The root of that. Yeah, so which now it makes some sense, right? Now it makes some sense, right?
Yeah,
it feels about right, lah. It feels about right, lah. It's already more than one standard deviation, right? To the left, lah. So that makes some sense. Right? Okay. Yeah, please draw, lah, huh? Please draw, huh? Why so stingy? Why so stingy? Huh? Why is it so difficult to draw? Isn't it beneficial? Whatever, up to you. Okay, Keiko, any questions so far?
I think I understand the general concept, but when I'm actually doing the question, right, I feel like there's a lot of factors to consider, so it gets quite confusing.
Fair. Let's go to one or two tutorial questions that you are confused. But even though you have done it, maybe I can help you read, right? Maybe.
I mean, I think I kind of understand what's going on in this one, but I can see how it can be very confusing. Like when I did it, I didn't even know what's going on. But yeah, then my teacher explained. But
so what you're saying is that you haven't done another of this kind of question, right? Another of this kind of question by yourself.
I only started on camp today.
No wonder. So we have half an hour. Why don't you just choose a promo question and just jump to this question? Just do it. Right? The problem might surface that way, if there is ever a problem. Right? I'm guessing that it is partly a reading problem. I'm guessing.
I think so too, yeah.
So why don't we start by simply reading the question, not the answer key, right? Not any other kind of answer key. Let's see whether we can understand the question first. Yankin, so far no more questions.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I think.
You haven't done any binomial, but is that intentional?
Somewhat. I mean, okay. I don't wanna. I don't wanna jump the gun, but I always thought normal was more difficult than binomial. I could be proven wrong, but like in my head, I know all the forms binomial can take, and I know how to solve them. I think. But
have you tried them? Have you revised for binomial?
Okay, I haven't, but
look, do two lah, do 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think I will.
Right. Do 2 or 3. So, Keiko, are you finding a question?
I found one. I'm gonna make a new chat bot and then put it there.
Oh, right, sure. Oh, yeah, that's just about right. Is it the untitled one? Correct.
Yes.
So let me title it as
calculation should be okay for those simple questions, like just calculate KSP or solubility.
Solubility can mean the order question. No, never mind. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Looks great to me.
Well, I don't know if this is tested. Is it tested?
Right.
What's this?
All right. So solubility of carbonate is just lesser than solubility of OH. That's expected, right? But there are some carbonates who does not do that. Okay, now I know. what we know. So carbon dioxide is a water. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Right. Okay. I mean everything is a separate saturated solution of NaOH can be used for testing. Okay. Right. Okay. Right.
I need to know how to
So,
answer the first one.
okay. Oh, no. This is even though the first part seems very alien, I would like you to focus on before first part. So the carbon dioxide dissolved. That looks almost like an O-level thingy, right?
Yeah.
But in A-level, what is new is that they introduced K lah.
Yes.
And now everything is in terms of K and in terms of usually two reactions. One of them will be solubility. One of them will be reversible reaction because K implies a reversible reaction, right? In this case, because there's 2K, then definitely there are at least two reversible reactions. Right now, I'm going to ask you to explain, not part one. I'm going to ask you to explain why part A, a white precipitate of calcium carbonate, is formed using A-level knowledge, not O-level.
That
Because
means
yeah, go ahead.
ionic product is small than the KSP, if I remember correctly.
What do you mean by ionic product in this case?
Like that one is
Who is the ionic product that you are talking about? Which K? Because the ionic product is in the first K or in the second K. Which ionic product are you talking about? You cannot just say that. Doesn't the K, put it another way, doesn't the K help you explain? Because I'm not seeing you use the K, which is all red flags.
Where is the K?
The solubility implies K.
Oh, you mean that? Okay.
You can go to K. Well, I mean, whether solubility or K, they are very linked because this is a K.
Yeah.
Right. So there must be some K here. There must be some K here.
Okay.
Or I mean, there is at least solubility here. So at least use the solubility number, right? So sorry. Yeah, I might have said the wrong thing. Maybe you should just use the solubility number to explain. Also can. Now, if you're very confused on how to start, why don't you at least write the reaction first? Whatever relevant reaction you may write. Then, okay?
I may need your help, but it's gonna take a while. There's a lot of explanation, a lot of context. Sorry.
Okay.
Give me a sec. Let me get the question.
You're writing a reaction. Yeah. Plus. Yeah. Can say that. Yeah. Do you have this solubility the solubility value of this reaction? No, but you can write down. There's nothing wrong, right? Is there any other relevant reaction here? Yeah, I guess, yeah. And this does have a solubility value. So the solubility value that we're looking for is the 1.3, right? 1.3 10 to the minus 4. Correct?
Yeah.
That simply means that if I have one... No, it's very simple. This is the maximum concentration of this where it will fully dissolve. That's just what it means, right? It's just what it means. So for some, it is possible for this to dissolve completely. It is possible if the concentration is below this number. Above this number, then you start to have some sort of reversibility. If that makes sense, right? Okay, right. Okay, so this must be kind of relevant. Is there anything else to write?
You mean the reaction?
Yep, because if we are confused, actually, that's always a very good place to start in K. Because for some reason, they also never write the reaction for you. It's like, if you need it, you write it lah. That is not the reaction you want. Don't erase it. Don't erase it. Don't erase it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now this does bother me lah. So, Yankin, please wait. So
yeah.
The word saturated again simply means there is no precipitate, almost. So it has a very big relevance to this number. Right? Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Which is again, this is here, and this is again before it becomes precipitate. So this is the maximum concentration where it does not seem to have any precipitate. Right? So the concentration of Ca2 plus here will be this. The concentration of OH minus here will be that. Correct?
Times 2, right? Fast.
Time. No. Yeah. I'm so sorry. You're absolutely correct. Right? So the concentration will be 2. So sorry. Of course, you're correct. And I'm a bit concerned because this is our starting point according to the scenario. Of course, carbon dioxide, something is part of the story. But when carbon dioxide is passed through a saturated solution, that's our starting point. You didn't write the reaction of the starting point. You seems to be ignoring that in your reading. Maybe you can, maybe not, is what I'm trying to say right now. Okay. So I know this concentration and I know this concentration. I doubt that the Ca2 plus concentration will matter. I doubt, because it almost never met. No, sorry. Never mind. Let me not say that. Right. So what happened when you pass through the CO2 into water
Water?
Yeah. What happens when you...
carbonate ions.
You will get carbonate ions, correct. So why did the precipitate happen? Yeah, I said the wrong thing just now. Yeah, I did say the wrong thing just now. So my mistake. So I think I did say the wrong thing. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that Ca2 plus doesn't matter, because it matters. It matters.
Wait, what? Okay. So the concentration of the Ca2 plus
is currently this, right? It's currently here, right? Currently here. Let's just say, right?
Yeah, and then times this.
When you bubble the CO2, the timesing is where you worry about the KSP. So let's say currently we don't worry about the KSP. Let's say, right? So no calculations are required. Right? So the concentration needed to push this to that, right? In order to precipitate is here. The Ca2 plus is around 1.3, and the CaCO3 minus is also 1.3 times 10 minus 4. Notice that in the solution, you already have Ca2 plus more than that, because of the starting point of CaOH. So you already have more here than what is required to precipitate. Now, when you bubble CO2, bubbling usually means that you will introduce quite a lot of CO3. So a lot and kind of a lot will definitely push this towards precipitation. because again, your starting point of Ca2 plus is also already more than what is needed for the precipitation of the carbonate.
Okay.
This kind of explanation is totally new. This just new.
No, I am kind of picturing it, but yeah, it's when I read the question, then don't really know at the start lah.
So let's say what I say makes sense to you, right? Let's say that.
Yeah.
Does it help you with part 1? Because MgOH2 and SrOH2 is definitely here, and it's for you to compare the numbers. And the presence of carbonate, I'm simply guessing that I think it is tested by seeing a precipitation, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to bubble CO2 here again, bubble CO2 here. So I'm going to see a precipitate of, in this case, MgCO3 and SrCO3, right? So again, my starting point is here, and then I have my MgCO3 or my SrCO3, right?
Okay.
Do you think you can draw a conclusion based on the numbers here? Based on what we just discussed here?
I don't need KSP here.
I guess not, because not even no calculation is required. So I guess not at all. I guess not at all. So I guess that's a relief. But I am rather certain that the numbers will be needed. You quote this and you quote that. Not a calculation, just quoting the numbers, comparing the numbers. I'm not making any sense here. Okay. Yankin, you have the question, yeah?
Yeah, there's a bit of context there, so I should.
So for another cattle breed, right? Jersey cow. This seems like there's a context. The context is the Dutch cow. Okay. So there's a Dutch cow gestation mean blah blah blah. Sure thing, right? So la 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 ya la la la. So Jersey cow is much faster.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So during gestation, a normal pregnant Dutch belted cow eat 29, while another 26. So looks like Jersey cow is just winning all the way, right? Pregnant, shorter, and also eat less, right?
Okay.
Right. So find the value of A such that during their respective gestation period, there's a probability of 0.35%, right? Then the amount of feed consumed by exceeds half, right? So exceeding half seems to make sense because Jersey cow is already lesser from the start. So exceeding half, okay, that seems to make some sense. If you're saying that the Jersey cow exceeds the Dutch cow, I think too small of a chance, right? Yeah, that experience already. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So reading until here, I see no problem. So what is your problem?
It's literally the next line by less than kg.
All right. Okay. So sorry, a Jamboard error. I'm refreshing again. So I cannot see your question currently.
Give a second.
Right. So I'll just answer it. So Keiko, do you see the SR can and MG cannot? Most probably.
Are we meant to compare like the solubility of the hydroxide and the carbonate for each?
Because it seems that the hydroxide is a starting point and the carbonate is something that may happen with the bubbling, just like the Ca situation.
So we see like which one is less soluble, then based on that we conclude.
The Mg cannot and Sr cannot.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, I would say that I think that's the answer.
Right. Makes sense.
Right. Okay. So not KSP, but definitely related in terms of thinking wise. Right? Okay. By less than. All right. So Yankin, are you saying that the less than bothers you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So let's see how we can deal with that. So, okay, let's say I just randomly change the question. So that the amount of feed consumed by exceeds half by A. By A.
Yeah, okay, that's okay, right?
Okay, can you do something with by A, and then I'm gonna add something else to that.
Yeah, ada.
Okay, so okay, now I'm going to add something to it. Huh? So by A or less, look. By A or less.
Then I'm not sure. Because down A it can be.
Look, first thing first, first thing first. Your starting point is not right. You know, you cannot say that is bigger than this. Cannot, because the sentence look like this. So find the value of A. The 35% that the amount of feed consumed by a randomly pregnant exceeds half, right? By A. If you say by A, then it must be equal to A. It must be equal to A. Right? Which is a very unlikely thing to do. You must understand. It's like the height of the family member hitting the exact new value. Very unlikely, what?
I guess.
Right? So now hitting A or less, hitting A or more. Doesn't that make much more sense in terms of probability?
Yeah, I think so.
So hitting A or less. So not equal. Equal, no question one. There's no such a question one. It doesn't make sense, right? It's just a line on the graph. What is the probability of a line? 0%.
So that means it's less than or equals to A.
Yeah. Which is we're back to, because the equal also this is A and less, because I'm changing the question. Actually, the question is just less than A. So there isn't even an equal sign, right? There isn't even.
So it's.
And you must agree with me that less than A or more than A, they are exactly complementary. So one is one is the complement of the other one. Like their total will be 100%. So the sign does matter. The sign does matter. It will determine the tail and everything, correct? Now does the question make sense? Like the sentence now makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does.
Give it a try. Yeah, give it a try. Give it a try. Right. So, all right, Keiko, you're continuing. We have 5 more minutes. So, is it a good idea to deep dive like this, Keiko?
Yes.
It's something that you're clearly uncomfortable with, right? So that's good. That's good. It's good to sometimes just deal with it like this. Sometimes you just cannot do it first if in terms of tuition. Tomorrow, if you want, we just deep dive again. It's okay. I can tell you that there are many variations of this question. The way they start.
Yeah,
they will end up all the same.
Just now, so.
Yep. So it's good to read.
It was terrible.
Like, what is this, man? It's very good to simply read.
Okay.
Let's just read more and try more and read more and try more. Maybe after the 10th question, then you suddenly feel, yeah, okay, maybe I can handle most of the things they throw at me. To be fair, they are very creative in the way they present it. To be fair. Right? So you don't expect things to be standardized. Just like vector is not always the same. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. Okay, so part 2, you're okay?
Is it correct?
Wait, determine the minimum. So calculation, I guess. So minimum concentration of carbonate ion. Okay. Then give a white percent of calcium carbonate. Yeah. When the carbon dioxide is passed through. Yeah. So the problem is, isn't it? Yeah, the issue is, do you actually have the KSP of this guy, the first reaction? Do you actually have it?
I think we can find it, but
is it like in the
wait, which one? This
here. Yeah, so this one is the one. Oh, I also don't think so. How am I supposed? How are we supposed to calculate that? If you don't have a KSP or that, you don't have the concentration of CO32 minus when you bubble. But you also don't have the KSP of the CaCO3. And it is not KSP. It is not. It is not. Because this is still solubility. I'm not missing anything. So let me think for a while. So please continue first. Yankin, are you okay?
Yeah, I need help with a binomial. I'm not sure which one. It'll be easier if I just show it to you. Give me a sec.
Please, we have less than 5 minutes.
I think this will be done quickly.
Yeah. So Kakak Brian, I can see you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, Kak.
All right. Noah, can you hear us also?
Yeah.
I think we're starting soon, yeah? Right. Okay. So Kakak Brian, later, I think I'll ask you to help Ainesh. I think first time, you'll be with Ainesh.
I'm not sure.
He will be studying the at the AMAC Trigo. So he's already at the last stage where you have to do all the identities, all the proving and all those stuff. He's very curious on how to do it, but he's not at a very great level yet.
Okay.
Right. How comfortable are you with the proving question of the Trigo?
Proving should be okay.
Right. So that's what I think he will go through with you later. Okay, so please wait. So Noah also please wait. So Keiko, if we don't have anything, if we cannot finish today, then we'll just continue tomorrow, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. Will you go out tomorrow?
Oh, no.
So
Only today.
Kyoko can.
Yeah, I didn't know, so sorry.
Right. Yeah, I didn't tell you also. Right. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. For you, Yankin, yeah.
I just need help constructing the binomial expansion. Because, wait.
You're saying part 4, is it?
Yeah, part 4.
Okay, a fixed number n are selected, and the number.
I'm not.
So are you saying that part 1 you're okay?
So yeah, they're all fine.
Right.
So for part 4, right, the first term being 0. I'm not sure if it's 2/5 n and 3/5 0 or 3/5 n and 2/5 0.
Okay, I think yeah. Yeah, everything seems normal from part 2 and then part 3. Yeah. Wait. Sorry, I don't seem to understand the question. Wait, sorry.
Because like if I look at when I look at the binomial expansion, right?
So this is CDF1 lah, if that's what you're asking lah.
Yeah.
That's CDF1.
I need to write down the equation for the inequality, right? So I'm not sure if this like A here is referring to 2/5 or 3/5. Like either the success or the failure, and like that's gonna affect my answer. So
sorry, I don't understand the question. Sorry, I don't understand the question. But
okay,
we don't have time left. Right? So, sorry, we can we continue tomorrow then?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. Okay. Do your stuff, but give yourself some rest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you. Bye.
Bye. So Michael and Michael. Okay, Michael. So you are here, Michael.
Yeah.
Right. Have you finished your? How did the dinner go? Is okay, Michael?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Right. I'll address Ainesh first, then we can start. Yeah. Okay. So, Ainesh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. So for the last session, for this week, most of the time I will have you be with Kakak Brian.
Me?
So it's a one-to-one thing, right? So one-to-one thingy. For tonight, I want you to do the previous trigonal, the one with all the proving and identities. So I want you to warm up again with him.
Okay,
Right?
sure.
If there is no objection, then I'll have you with the breakout room. Okay.
Yeah.
For the sine rule, cosine rule, we'll continue tomorrow in the first session. Right? That's very little to continue. Okay. All right. So breakout room, sign manually.
Can you put my video in as well? Once it joins.
Okay. All right. So I'll wait for it. So yeah, Kyoko, you are continuing the papers, right? Oh, so there's that, right? So you're doing the discriminant one, right? So
Okay, it is joined.
okay, I'm not seeing. Okay, wait. So I should go out first. In breakout room again. Oh. There you go. Okay, opening all rooms, Kakak Brian and Anish. From the worksheet, yeah, Anish, you start from there again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael, Noah, I'll be with Kyoko for a while and then I'll go and start with you guys. For now, Michael and Noah, do what you want to do first, okay? So I'll just settle one problem with Kyoko first because that was her homework. Where is Kyoko? I don't have Kyoko. Wait. There. Okay. So this is what you did, Kyoko, right? So okay.
I'm not sure how to like go on from there.
Okay. Your b square minus 4ac is not correct. Okay. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy this to the next page. So please follow me to page 3. So if I'm asking you to ignore the hands, right? So if you're going to ignore the hands, then just do it normally. Normally what you will do, isn't it this plus 3 minus c equals to 0, correct? Isn't
yeah.
this what you're going to do? So then your discriminant will be equal to 1 square, which is correct, right? 1 square minus 4 times minus 2 times 3 minus c. That should be the case. Right. So a little bit of change there, and you're going to ignore the hands.
Okay.
Right. And then since you need to have real and distinct root, then you bigger than 0. Okay, make sense?
Yes.
All right. So change it up a bit, this one, and then give it a try. Right. See what happens. And see whether it compares with how I explain it. How I explain it seems to be new and not so comfortable for you. But if they compare, if they have the same answer, then at least you can learn something from it. Okay. So Michael, you're doing the binomial. I have no problem right now. I have no problem with that right now. Okay. Right. Do you have any problem with the binomial so far, Michael? All right. Okay. All right. We'll talk about planning again. No. We have to wait for Aryan. Oh, you guys. You guys do this.
So do we talk about planning or?
No, not yet, because Aryan is not here today. Okay, everything is. But that means you're good today. So Noah, you are replying to me that you leave. Oh my goodness, you leave house at 11 and you reach home at 5:30. Now tell me, you go to school, you don't just do history, right? Cannot be, right?
Yeah.
You do more than history, right?
No, I don't go to school.
You go to where?
It's like a tuition center.
Wait. You go to tuition center for a history class. That one's great, no problem.
Yeah.
You have to leave at 11 and then you come back at 5:30. Really?
Yeah. It's at Parkway 3 area there.
Oh.
I have to eat lunch and all that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now you do need the history tuition, right?
Yeah.
And it's better to do it now than later, lah. So I agree. Will you continue with the history tuition after the holiday tuition? After the holiday, sorry.
No, it's just for this week.
You do so. You do so. I mean, Michael and Aryan has bigger concerns, which is also science, right? You don't.
Okay.
At least I assume that you don't. So you cutting the first session is probably not going to be too bad. Probably, right? And I don't want to tire you too much. Now, let me confirm a few things very quickly with you because your time is less than the others, right? So again, good for you to do what you need, right? I'm sorry. Before you say that, you're planning for L1 R5 or L1 R4 or both?
5.
You want to go to JC?
Yeah, but obviously, if
Why? I'm asking because I think it's very relevant. If you don't mind sharing your why.
because I don't know what I would take in poly.
Really? That's the reason, really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will do another. Michael, are you stuck?
No.
All right. Then Noah, what would you pick in JC? What would you pick in JC? Kyoko is bigger than 0, not equal to 0. Kyoko is bigger than 0, not equal to 0. It's real and distinct, so bigger than 0. Sorry, Noah. Sorry.
Like, whether I want arts or science or what?
More specifically, what subject combo? More specifically, what are your H2 choice? Because the H2 are no joke. Let me put this very, very clearly. The way you choose your H2 will determine whether you suffer for a good reason or you suffer for no meaningful reason. That's the range. If you go to JC, you will suffer.
Yeah.
Whether you are smart or not smart, whether you're good or not good, if you go to JC, you will suffer.
Yeah.
So is that suffering worth you saying something like, yeah, but I don't want to go to poly because I don't know what to choose? Well, in JC, you choose your suffering. You just suffer this or suffer that. It's a slightly different process in poly. I'm not saying that poly has no suffering, but poly has a different way of choosing and a different way of thinking, which might not necessarily be bad for you. Now, what are your H2 choices, Noah? Do you have any idea?
Math and
you need to choose 3. You need to choose 3. Yeah. So you tell me your options. Now, Kyoko, does this compare with what I explained to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether you do it the pure discriminant way or do it my drawing way, the result is the same. Now, I certainly hope that your teacher will ask you for more of the pure discriminant way. I think that's better for you. Right? You seem more comfortable, right? Not so solid, but at least more comfortable. Okay? Any other question?
No.
Feel free to revise again, right? Feel free to revise. All right, so Noah, your choice will be H2 math, right?
Yeah.
H2 math. I'm going to write that down in Noah. Where's Noah? Well, I share with you the secondary 4 holiday tuition. So I'm going to put Noah also in. So first of all, currently it's a combined Jamboard. So would you kindly join me at page 2? Okay, Michael. So hopefully everything is correct with the second and the third one. Hopefully.
Yes, mistake. So.
Yeah, because the X, the below, no. There's a chance that is correct. I guess there is a chance. You just have to activate.
I wrote just this just now, and then like this, and then this is just the and choose 2, and I forgot to include the behind part. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Do continue. This seems it just seems slightly new. It's not. Yeah, you do have to deal with the factorial thingy. Yep. So Noah, are you in page 2?
Yeah.
Right. So for H2, do you plan to go to MI, by the way?
No.
Right. And why is that so?
I don't really have specific reason.
Now, for most people, the reason is because MI is 3 years, right? 3 years. So they don't like it. So, hey, lama, might as well go to poly, right? And poly is, sorry, just to be very clear, you know that poly is not a delay, right? You do know this, right? You know that, it's 3 years, but you will discount 1 year in the uni as long as you choose the relevant course in uni. So it has to link lah. If not, then you cannot have the discount. But MI is a truly at 1 year, right? So there are some specific bonuses in choosing MI besides the 3 years, right? You may hate the 3 year, but the bonuses that you can choose topics that you cannot choose in other JC. For example, management, if that's your thing. In MI, those things exist. As far as I can tell, it doesn't exist in other JCs. Right? So if you look at the subject choice in MI, they will show you all that. Right? So just a brief info. For the H2s, H2 math, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Then what else? you can.
Then economics.
You mean as a H2 econ?
I think so.
All right. I know what H2 econ is. That's the only humanity subject that I'm very familiar at. The rest I'm not sure. So yeah, I know what H2 econ. Then you still need to choose. Oh, don't say that. What you're saying is careful. You're very dangerous. Let me explain why. I'm explaining you right now because you have a lot of time to think. This is 1.5 months before O level. It matters a lot. It matters a lot what you think here. Okay, let me show you. This affects your uni choice. It does, uni course. Your poly course, whatever that is, also affects your uni course. Okay. Right? So if you do not know what to go to uni, I mean, not a lot of people know. I understand. But if you don't know this or this are both very confusing. And this is more suffering. I just have to tell you, this is more suffering than this. Really, really a lot more suffering, right? For your H2 math, considering your A math right now, you will need tuition. It doesn't have to be for me. You will need tuition. So you will need help. So first thing first. What is the bonusly of taking H2 math? Because the suffering is clear. You need to spend a lot of time. But the bonus is H2 math is almost always required for any science course in uni, engineering or science, right? So that's just a requirement. Understand?
Yeah.
Now, almost all science course will need one more science, not two. At least one more. Physics, chem, or bio. You need one more in order to get the uni course science type. Beside H2 math, one more H2 science. One more. What's your question?
Isn't that hybrid?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that considered hybrid or something?
Well, hybrid means this can be hum. This must still be science, right? Because it's 2-2, right? 2-2. Okay. And the 2 needs to be science, H2, not hum. The science shouldn't be H1. It's severely limiting the uni course. That way, you don't know what to do, but you also have no choice. Do you want that?
Oh, no.
No, right? So please consider this as one science for H2. That's what you need to consider. Okay. Ding dong. What is the science here? Can we scratch bio? Is that what you're saying? You will scratch bio. No more. Yeah. Okay. So it's only chem or physics. Simple, right? Simple. But choose. Ding dong.
Probably
yes.
Physics.
Right. You have electronics to back you up. So that part of physics, at least you'll be able to do. You're learning more than them already in certain parts. That's one good thing about your physics.
Yeah.
Right. You may not like electronics. I'm guessing that's why you don't say, hey, I want to go to poly electronic engineering. Is that the reason why? Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But you can if you want to. But again, that's choosing your suffering, right? Choosing your suffering. Right? So you choose your physics, and your physics would be way harder than your combined physics.
Yeah.
Not harder because you're doing pure instead you're not doing pure, you're doing combined. Right?
That's right.
Secondly, the price that you must pay is that you must pay one more. You must pay two more. You must have A1 for your O level. You must. Because I don't think they will allow you if you get A2. It is that so much harder. Right? It is that so much harder. You will therefore also need tuition. Again, it doesn't have to be from me, but you will need the tuition. Okay. Clear. Clear. Yeah. This is clear. Then your other H1 can be humanities or science. You choose, right? In some sense, you're limited by the JC that you go into. They don't offer all combination. But math, physics, econs, H2 and H1 science is very likely to have. H1 Hume, I'm not so sure. It depends on whether they give you hybrid. So I'll just assume that this is science, which is to say this will be chem, correct? Because I don't think it'll be bio.
Yeah.
H1 chem compared to combined chem is harder. Yep. Your poison. So this is the possible. I'm so sorry to word you're suffering, but it is. This is the possible suffering that you will have to go through with hopefully knowledge as the payment. When you go through suffering, you want to get some benefit. The benefit is not just science course, uni course, but the knowledge that will help you in life. Right? The knowledge that will help you in life. Have you compared this suffering with the poly suffering?
I think so.
Right. To you, what is poly suffering? And what is poly benefit?
I like the courses.
Whatever course you choose, you choose this, you choose that. Have you considered the suffering and the benefit? What you have to pay and what you get out of it?
The suffering.
I don't mean money. I don't mean money here. Yeah. Sorry, your suffering is sorry.
The suffering is like cost, right?
Yeah, your suffering is something you pay, right?
Yeah.
It takes a lot for you to complete A level well, right? If not, then why bother completing A level? If you don't complete it well, it's difficult to get to a uni course. I mean, actually, you'll still get someone, no problem, right? It's just that maybe you don't like it. Same thing with poly, right? If you complete it well, you will have more option in the uni. Okay, I mean, yeah. But there will be suffering if you don't like it. Right? So, what are the sufferings of poly? Why don't you like poly? You don't like all the courses. That's your problem with poly.
There's some courses that I'm thinking about sometimes.
Okay. If you can give me some idea.
Accountancy and computer engineering.
Okay, that's totally different than accountancy and computer engineering, right? Computer engineering. Okay, that's two. Right. Before we continue, Michael, are you stuck somehow? Are you doing something else?
Constant term is x equals 0, right? I don't know if my method is right.
Those are times, right? This times, right? Right.
Yeah.
So this looks right. The answer doesn't look right, because the answer should be,
a whole number.
A whole number. So maybe something is wrong, but the method seems fine. No? The method seems fine.
There's nothing wrong. I don't think so. I believe.
Can you show me upward? Can you show me upward?
So this is the equation that I'm basing it off.
And then the x0, where do you get that from? The constant term.
Constant term. What is the?
No, show me the question. Show me the question. Go down. Right, thank you. Without expanding this, show that there are no constant. Oh.
And then
currently, I'm not sure what you're doing here. Currently, I'm not sure what you're doing here. Now, I don't think that what you're doing is correct. No, currently, I don't think what you're doing is correct. Show that there is no constant term.
Yeah.
Now, you're supposed to get an n value, which is not a whole number. That does show that there is no constant term, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is you're not trying to find n. N is already being used. I don't know what you're doing here. The n is nothing about.
Wait, no. Wait, I did it wrong.
Right? Correct?
Yeah.
Hyoko, are you okay so far?
I am stuck. I'm not sure to go on.
This is fine. What you're doing is fine. I mean, you can even simply wait. Why is there an 11 here? Oh, yeah, this is. So you can even make it into 11x if you want to, right? You want to, right? So intersect, right? What does it mean by intersect? So when we say intersect, is the discriminant should be? Oh, you're not very strong in this topic, isn't it? Now, for now, find the discriminant first. Right? Find the discriminant first of this thing, right? So let's consider that you're correct so far. Right? So back to you, Noah. Now, why accountancy? That's new from you, coming from you.
No, I heard that it is good in university.
So if you choose accountancy, then you hope to go to accountancy in uni lah.
Yeah.
Well, it is true that accountancy in NUS and NTU are difficult to go in. I mean, that means that people like them more than their space lah. There are more people who want it compared to the space available. That makes sense?
Yeah.
That means that you have to score rather high in order to get to the accountancy uni course.
Yes.
So plus minus, understand this, poly is not very difficult to study. You just study normally, you will get into a good grade. But I think you have to study slightly harder in order to get excellent grade in accountancy. Because the uni course of accountancy, they are minimal, how do I say it? They are, what do you call it? What's the number? The L1, R5 kind of those kind of thing, right? It's very high again because a lot of people with good grades want to get into the accountancy course. Okay. Now, does that mean that accountancy is good for you? If a lot of people with good grades want to get there?
Can.
Really, yeah. What is good for you, you consider it from what other people think is good. Really. That's your basis of choice. Your suffering may be never ending, if you choose your life that way.
Okay.
Have you heard of your friends wanting to be a tuition teacher?
No.
If your friend want to be a teacher and you ask him what kind of teacher, he didn't answer geography teacher, he didn't answer history teacher, he answered tuition teacher. What will be your response?
I'm not sure.
Sorry?
Not sure.
Do you think it's good for a person to aspire to be a tuition teacher?
I don't think so.
And the reason is because you can say your mind, but why not? Because it is better to, or because it is not good to do. What is your opinion? You think about your opinion for a while. Michael and Kyoko, I have a question for you guys. Michael and Kyoko?
Yeah.
Your opinions, your opinions. If your friends say they want to be a teacher, a tuition teacher, what is your opinion?
My opinion.
Yeah, your opinion, your honest opinion.
I would think why though.
Why? Okay, why? You ask him why, right? Compared to, I want to be a math teacher. Would
There's
you ask
still
why?
why. There's
There's still
why.
why.
Any
Oh,
teacher
the
is why.
answer, because I'm good at math.
Fair enough.
Let's say here, fair enough. All right.
But
Then he answered,
then I would ask, then are you good with handling people?
all right. Okay, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. You're correct. Okay.
Same.
You cannot just be a tuition teacher, and you cannot just be a math teacher by being good at math.
Or any teacher.
Or any teacher. Like, you have to be good at, responding to your student. Right. That's a very fair comment from a student, right? For a student's perspective, right? Honest comment. So, but now he's saying that he wants to be a tuition teacher. What is your question to him, Mike?
Still why?
Oh, why? Because
teachers is not usually in the spectrum of aspired to be jobs, I guess.
you have a point, lah. It's not very popular, isn't it? It's not very popular. Not compared to business, accountancy, engineering, doctor, lawyer, papaya, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, here I am in real life. I also never aspire to be a teacher, nor even a tuition teacher. I think when people aspire to be a teacher, at least it's not a tuition teacher. I guess that makes sense. Right. How do you feel right now, Kyoko, Michael, and Noah, if I am not a tuition teacher? How would you feel?
If you're not a tuition teacher?
Yes.
How would I feel in what context?
Before that, sorry. Ainesh, you are here. Why are you here, Ainesh? Ainesh, why are you here? Oh, Ainesh, you're not here.
I think that might be his camera account.
I think so. I'll assign him again. Maybe he got kicked out. So if I'm not a tuition teacher right now, Noah, Michael, and Kyoko, then I won't be teaching you, right? I won't be helping you and all those stuff. How would you feel? Simple, right? How would you feel? So I am not a tuition teacher because I didn't aspire to be a tuition teacher. And so I'm not teaching you. You'll be taught by somebody else. And generally, most people just don't want to be a teacher. Right? That's a fair comment. Right? Most other people don't think it's good to be a teacher. Not a lot. So how would you feel as a student?
If you were not a tuition teacher?
And therefore, your tuition teacher is not me. Makes sense, right?
I mean, if you were never my tuition teacher, then I would never know.
True enough, you will never have a comparison. But how would you feel? Make a guess.
Depends on the other tuition teacher.
I guess. Which, for some reason, also never aspired to be a tuition teacher in the first place.
I mean, if the other tuition teacher is like a literal clone of you, then there's no difference. So.
But then again, why do we have that discussion, right?
Yeah.
Then we won't be having the discussion, right? You just want the same replacement or even better. Now, obviously, everybody wants that. Obviously, right? Okay, that's understood, right? Now, going back to Noah, thank you for your opinions. Thank you. If you have another one, please tell me. Now, Noah, if I just base my life choices on what other people want, then I shouldn't be a tuition teacher because most people don't want to become a tuition teacher or a teacher for that matter. Even, I'm not sure whether this is worse or not. Maybe it's worse, I don't know. But most tuition teachers also don't teach 3 subjects. I'm not sure whether it's actually good or worse for you, Michael, Noah, and Kyoko.
Yeah.
So my life choices are not typical by other people's standard. What do you feel about my life choices right now, Noah, at this moment?
I mean, if you're happy, then that's good.
I'm asking in relationship to you. Don't you understand, Noah? If you are going to be an accountant, you're going to be an accountant for other people.
Okay.
Right? A company, which means you're serving other people or other company, which concern other people.
Yeah.
How would they feel if you choose accountancy because other people choose accountancy? Good choice, brother.
Maybe it's just a bad choice.
No, the most is they don't care lah, because what they care is, are you a good accountant or not?
Okay.
They don't care whether you choose to be an accountant because other people choose to be an accountant. At least that's irrelevant. At most, however, they will ask, so are you good or not? Can I, can you be helpful or not to me as an accountant?
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense, right? So what is the chances of you being a good accountant if you join accountancy school because other people think it's good?
Life wouldn't be happy.
So are you a good accountant or not? Chances are lah. You
No.
may be, you may not be. You may be, you may not be. Computer engineering. Why do you choose computer engineering?
Because I take electronics, so I have a slight advantage.
Okay, so will you be a good computer engineer if you have a slight advantage because of electronics? Don't know lah. Probably, yeah, it means as a slight advantage lah, from what I know about computer engineering. But we wouldn't know until we try. No, that's always a fair statement. But your accountancy choice, please lah. I was hoping that because you talked to your father say this, say that. Okay, that's at least a slightly better choice, slightly better reason.
But
yes, you're saying. Come on.
My friend has this tuition teacher.
Uh-huh.
Then he was from ACJC, but he didn't do well in A levels.
Yeah.
And he went to poly afterwards.
Interesting.
I mean, like going to JC is also risky.
Going to JC is very risky because of the amount of suffering involved. Okay. The amount of suffering, I mean, your mental strength is not bad, no. That one I can say. Because you know you are not the smartest person in the room. You know this from the start, right? From long time I meet you, primary 5, you were always like that one. And I never protest you. I admire you for working hard up to this point. And you have always been a hard worker. Very good, very consistent. Okay. That's how I see you from back then. I think almost 6 years ago, right?
Okay.
But the amount of hard work and suffering in JC needs to be worth something. If the result is not good, your option to uni is civil engineering. That's the one course which, even if your JC is not so good, as long as it's not a fail, you can get into civil engineering. Because civil engineering has always been like that one. It doesn't mean that civil engineering is easy. It's damn hard. But most people don't want to go there with good grades. So, they have to accept people with not so good grades. So you can go to uni and become a civil engineer. That's your only choice. If your JC result is not good. Do you know what's a civil engineer?
Yeah.
It's a very important job. What's the job of a civil engineer, Kyoko, Michael?
Actually, I don't know.
Right. I don't know either.
To build stuff. Yeah, to build stuff.
So
bridge, building,
blue
school.
Collar.
No. That's the Bangladeshi worker, which works very hard and gets paid quite a lot. The civil engineer are their supervisor, their designer, the one on the field, right? Not the blue collar worker. No, the one that is responsible if something gets wrong with the whole building, with the cement, with the iron.
So it's architect for roads and stuff.
Fair enough. Architect usually don't build roads, so you can say the designer of
But
roads.
what's the difference between civil engineer and architect?
The
architect building fancy stuff. The designer of the building, meaning something like this. HDB also have architect, very small amount, but they have. Because the architect do think about the proper positioning of the door, the bathroom, the toilet, in relationship to the amount of airflow. That's why HDB stuff are actually quite good. They're designed well. Who designed them well? Architects lah. The surrounding also the architect thing. Now, who's the civil engineer? The civil engineer received the design from the architect and then build lah. The architect cannot build. The architect can design. So in terms of town planning, the town planning is the analogy to architect law. The town planner plans road. Who builds? Civil engineer, road. Town planner cannot build. Bangladesh worker, very hard worker, work under who? Under civil engineers lah. Is this clear? Are you guys okay? That's architect and engineer, a civil engineer, right?
Yeah.
It's not a joke job. It's not. It's not. It's also not a joke course. They are very important and they are always in need. For some strange reason, nobody wants to work there. So they must accept people with lower marks. That might be good or bad for you, right? If you like civil engineer, then good lah. I can enter wherever I want, right? Good for you. Look. Noah, do you know how I know all this? It's like I ask anybody. Is that how I know all this? Like if your mark in JC is very bad, then the only place you can go is civil engineer. How do I make this up? Am I making this up?
No.
I just see the cutoff point lah of the Unilo, simple, right? Have you seen them? Do you want to see them? Do you want to see them?
So I'm in Sec 2 or something. But after I didn't run.
Yeah, maybe I showed you before, but you just Google cutoff point NTU NUS, you'll be able to see it also.
Okay.
Okay, most of the time they give cutoff point based on JC result, not based on poly result, because poly is a different route. So let me get it straight to you. If you go to JC, agreeably, even though you fail, you have a place in uni. And no, as long as you don't fail, you have a place in uni. Might not be the place you want, but you have lah, as is engineering related. Okay. If you go to poly, in order to secure in place uni, you have to do very well so that you can secure in place. If not, you go to work immediately. Doesn't mean that it's the end. No, it just means you work lah. That's all lah.
Yeah.
So if you go to poly, you have to go to the poly with a mindset that I want to excel. Choose a course which you like or pays well, whatever, but you also have to do very well. It is possible, definitely possible. Okay, whether accountancy or still computer engineering, those things are quite fun to learn in poly because poly is in general fun. But please excel so that you secure your place in uni. I'm assuming that you want to go to uni and not work immediately, right, Noah?
But for example, is it tough to also get a 3.8 plus for GPA poly?
Kind of. I mean, it's very excellent. It's more than AAA.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you should aim for 3.5. 3.5 is already excellent, considered excellent.
I see a lot of the courses. Civil engineering needs 3.58.
Yeah. Because from poly, I did say that, right? From poly, you need to be excellent.
Yeah.
From JC, no need excellent. There will be place for you, just maybe not what you want. But in poly, you already choose your course at accountancy. So the place that is going to accept you in uni is accountancy. So better excel. In JC, fair enough. If you choose the right combo, you have some options. And if you don't do very well, there's still one or two options. I'm not saying that you should choose JC or poly. I'm saying that you should compare the suffering and the benefit properly. Okay, so let me summarize for you. Poly, less suffering, but must get better marks. JC, a lot suffering already. Whatever marks you get, do your best. Play basketball, can do both. No problem. Still should play basketball. So one more time, huh? In JC, it is likely that your choice is math, physics, econ, and science. It's very likely. Hi, Cam. It's very likely. Would you violently object to this? Like, no, right? Then your science must be A1. Your combined science must be A1. Your math, for your sake, there are some JC who won't pose a limit, but for your sake, it better be minimum B3. If possible, A2 or A1, because it will give you more confidence in the AMAT, right? It will. This is not just about requirement, it's also about your confidence. Whereas for the science, A1 is a must already. So you must. You must. If you cannot, maybe you should forget science. Maybe you should forget JC. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So A math, I know you're aiming for more. Please do lah for your sake. Please do. Because H2 math is no joke. H2 physics is no joke. Nothing is a joke at JC.
Yeah.
Right? So that takes care of the thing, and then you need your L1, R5. Right? So I agree if you need your L1, R5, and the L1, R5 requires history. Does it require history for your L1, R5?
Yeah.
History and SS? Then do well. I mean, maybe you don't have to be A1, but still do well. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the suffering and benefit that you can at least imagine right now. Anything else? Anything else you want to ask?
No more.
All right. So you're gonna cut your holiday tuition for this, no problem. Do your history, study well, right? Now, now take your schedule sheet, the one that is also the entry pass, and then let's talk scheduling from there because that's what you missed from the previous session. Okay, Mike and Aryan already did that, so I need to make you equal with them. Then tomorrow we can do more math stuff lah.
Coming in the second session.
Sorry.
Only coming in the second session.
Tomorrow, right? Yeah. So you have to catch up lah. So at least do the scheduling right now. You have the schedule?
Yeah.
It's a piece of paper. So show me, please. Right. Sorry, Kyoko and Mike took some time. So Kyoko first lah. Kyoko, any questions so far?
No.
Right. So you are at the discriminant, right? So you are unsure whether to set the discriminant bigger, equal, or smaller than 0. Correct?
Yeah.
You have the answer key for this one? Just say. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to have it.
I don't have the solution, but I have the answer.
It's a short one. Okay. So now let's start with bigger than 0 first. Okay. So bigger than 0, and let's see whether what it gives you lah. So you set this as bigger than 0, and then what? Right.
Okay.
So for Noah. Noah, you're gonna compare this schedule with the one in page 1. The one in page 1 is Mike's schedule and Aryan's schedule. They're very similar to each other, right? Okay. Now the first thing I want you to do is use a pencil. You have a pencil, Noah?
Yeah.
And mark the Mondays. That's what I do first. Mark the Mondays so that you're very clear what's going on, right? Mark your Mondays. So please do so. Michael, any questions on the paper? Just use a pencil. Just a. Yeah.
How do I explain that this is a decreasing function? I know
Right.
it's like for any actual value of x, this will always be negative.
Right. So you will say something like this, right? The denominator is always positive, right? So you say the denominator bigger than 0 right now. So you can say x minus 9 squared bigger than 0. Bigger than 0 for every x, right? So you say for x member real, right? For all x of x, for all values of x, right? For all values of x. So all values of x. Right? Therefore, dy dx is always negative. That's actually enough. Dy dx always negative. So dy dx smaller than 0. So then you have to say dy dx is smaller than 0. Dy dx is always negative, right? Because the denominator is always positive. So therefore, dy dx is a decreasing function, right? Okay, this sentence is super bare minimum, but this is enough. Now, as long as you understand the logic, right?
Yeah. Like the denominator is always positive, so like positive and
over
the top is a
positive,
negative is like it's always gonna become negative.
Yeah. But this kind of sentence is enough.
Yeah.
Right. So Noah, also write down the hidden Monday. You want to know per week one. So I know that you don't have the 24th, which is a Monday, but you write down there between 20th and 26th, the 24th is a Monday. So write it down also. In between, right? So you have a Monday there. So the other Monday is 31st, right? And then after 31st, the other Monday is
7.
7. So you write it down also that's hidden between 2 and 9. Now you're going to do the same as what they do now. Kyoko, is that the answer correct or not?
Yes.
I think there should be an exact value there.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't think your answer is correct. I don't think so. First of all, you forget the plus minus. Secondly, you didn't do exact. So please do exact value in terms of cert. Please do so. Activate your cert, and then don't forget the square root is also a plus minus, correct? Right. So for you, Noah, we're going to start planning by observing the schedule. Now, you are a hard worker, so you have planned naturally from time to time. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So you have your preference, your preferred way of planning. I'm not going to interfere with that. The most I'm looking for is to update or make your planning better. Okay. Now, how do we make planning better? It's very simple. The end result is better, if possible, with less suffering. Right? If not, then, the end result is better, even though we have to suffer more. I guess that's also acceptable to you, you're a hard worker. Make sense?
Okay.
Right? In general, in planning, what we want to avoid is the planning doesn't matter. Whether you plan or not, the benefit, the end result is the same. And then why bother planning, right? Like more burden. Or you want to avoid an even worse one. You plan and then the result becomes less. So why bother planning, right? I guess that makes sense. Huh? Okay. Now, Michael, why did you scratch your answer? I don't get it. Why did you do that? Why did you scratch everything just now?
I realized that was not what they wanted to ask.
Okay. Okay, you can ask the question later then. Right. Now, Noah, look at the first week. I'll define the first week as the math one. So the practical is before the first week, okay?
Yeah.
Look at your first week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday. Right? You look at all the exam there. What kind of week is that for you? Good, bad, okay whatever. Kyoko, move up, please. I want to see your work. Right. So again, write down the 9K and 176. Just move the 176 to the left. It's okay. That's not wrong. Right, okay, good. Yeah, good.
Good
right.
week.
Yeah, it's a good week. Then second week, third week, fourth week, just check first. Let's see whether you missed something or not. Then Kyoko, divide by 9, right? Divide by 9. So 19776 by 9. If you can simplify, that would be nice. If not, then leave it be.
Decent.
Decent. How about the third week? All right.
Good
so week. Okay. So at least that's exact. Now, Kyoko, you're gonna square root that, right, Kyoko? Now, when you square root that mixed number is not what you want. Correct. Correct. So, what do you want if you want to square root? What kind of fraction do you want? Better be prepared. Right? Right. So then go ahead, and then square root it in a way that honors your topic cert. So square root it properly. Right. So Noah, how's your third week?
Good week.
How's your third week?
Good.
Let me see your third week one more time. Your third week is a history, right, in the Monday, and then your paper 2 science in the afternoon, right, and then electronics, right?
Yeah.
It's a good third week. Is good.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Then your fourth week?
There isn't any.
There is. After 7, there's a Wednesday, the MCQ of the science.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, easy lah, easy. Now, your planning, I think your third week is difficult, considering your goal. Your goal for AMAT is, your personal goal for AMAT is?
B3A2.
B3A2, right? Okay. Now, in the middle, you have to deal with one of the sciences, so either physics or chem. So that's half the subject, right?
Yeah.
Friday night, how do you feel?
Which Friday?
Friday after the additional math. Additional math is on afternoon Friday, correct or not? That's a Friday,
Okay.
Correct or not? Monday is 24,
Yeah.
so 26 is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's the second week.
Okay.
Right? After your A math,
Yeah.
Friday night, how do you feel?
Okay.
I hope so lah, because most people are tired, most people, right? I hope so. Most people are tired. Then you have Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, you have to deal with half. I'm guessing that's a history. I'm not sure. I'm guessing. And then you have to do another half of science, which your target is A1, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not sure about your humanities, like you need tuition. And then your science, I'm pretty sure you have to aim for A1.
Yeah.
Right? So are you sure your week 3, although week 3 only 1 day, are you sure week 3 is easy? Are you sure or not?
Yes. I'm not being overconfident or flexing, but
right.
Maybe the problem is the humanities, not really the science.
Your science will be fine. You're sure? A1? Okay.
Based on past papers, okay.
All right. Then continue to do well. Continue to do well. There are many people who do well in combined science, okay? Just say, don't flex too much.
Yeah.
Right? If that is clear, then good for you, because the situation is slightly different for Michael and Ariana. They have greater difficulty if they are aiming for a good, in this case, a good physics. For them, it's a physics on the 31st. And then on the in between AMAT is the chemistry. So they have a slightly bigger burden because they're pure science.
Yeah.
Right. So good for you. Now, what else do you need to plan? Is there anything else you need to plan looking at all this? I think you call this a friendly schedule.
And that's electronics in the same week.
Do you need to plan somewhat electronics, right? Because you don't want your electronics to be bad. Do you need to? Okay, let me put it another way. When are you going to study your electronics if you're slightly worried about it? I think it's in the Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's in the Wednesday.
Yeah.
You think about it for a while. So Kyoko, move up. Sorry, I need to follow. So I'm not following anything. Yeah, so root 176. Do you know what to do with root 176? Oh dear. So divided by 4, 176, your cert, let me see how good your cert is. Plus, it must be a plus minus. So I'm not seeing any plus minus there. Michael, are you stuck somewhere? Is there nothing else to do?
I don't know. This is weird.
Part A or part B, sorry?
Part A.
It looks kind of weird, I suppose, but what is your problem?
Is what I wrote what they're asking for?
I agree with the principal. Wait, principal value of the cosine is in the quadrant 4 minus. So your answer shouldn't be minus. Your answer shouldn't be 150 degree. Your answer should be. Oh no, your answer is correct. Your answer is 150, but they want it in radian.
Oh wait, so it's gonna be 150. Pi is 180.
So moving up, move up. Right, 214, right? 214. That's about right, I think. 244. Yeah, that's more like it. So 44 can simplify further or not? Yeah. So Michael, you are correct so far. So this is a correct answer. Right.
Okay.
Don't wait too long until asking. So please continue. Right. So Noah, what's your plan for electronics so that you can secure a good mark?
Is it better to study before the whole 3 weeks and then on the Tuesday and
Right. My
Monday
suggestion
night
is this. So my suggestion, because you know that your Monday is also gone. Be very difficult. I mean, you can study some, right? You only have Tuesday and then the Wednesday morning only the electronic. So you only have Tuesday. So that's a little bit worrying, especially if you're aiming for a good mark. Are you aiming for a good mark for electronics?
But, electronics, you get an A is like 80 plus 90.
A1? So you're aiming for A1 or A2?
A1.
A1. Understand? Then my suggestion is, before I do that, so Kyoko, your denominator is wrong, it's 3. Oh goodness, your cert is not very good, is it? Now I know. Now look at the answer key first. The answer key is not exactly this. So there's some problems with your discriminant. Right? But at least the number is good, I think. Is the number good? Right? The number is good, but the final answer is wrong. So do you know what is wrong? Right. All right. Let me explain to you later. Now I know your weakness already. This is the common weakness for every discriminant student. Right? Would you please do something else first? I have to finish with Noah first. Right? So Noah, my suggestion is, of course, the Tuesday you do electronics. That's just of course, but the most you can is to take one day between 20 to 26. One day. Because I think you have to pay strong attention to your additional math and your science. Are you that confident that you can take more than one day from 20th to 26 so that you don't sacrifice your A math and your science?
Yeah.
Right. So again, can you take more than one day for electronics or just one?
Only one.
All right. Then you choose what day. Choose what day right now. I think you can choose it immediately. I'll just choose this one day or half day, or whatever. Or one day early on, not later on, something like that.
Something.
All right. Then just write down there. So one day for electronic. So one day for electronic there. One day for electronic below. Definitely not enough, right? So we'll go and find some more, right? We'll go and find some more. Again, Kyoko, move on to the next question.
I think because like
yeah. So even
yeah.
So everything is wrong here currently. So everything in the sense of the presentation, you are missing something. There's something that you don't understand. There's something, but leave it here first. We'll fix that part. Okay. Because now I know your cert is not okay. So I want you to practice your cert. Your discriminant also the final part not so good. Okay. So one day below, 2 days from middle, right, Noah?
Yeah.
Think carefully. Is there any way you can take it from before the first week? How many days can you take while not endangering your math, English, and your SS lab, right? How many days can you take from before the first week? So before 17, before 17 October.
Maybe on the 2 days before.
So which particular days are there? Be precise,
14,
because I'm sorry, what?
14, 15.
14, 15 you want to take for electronics, then your math, how?
16.
Can't you take something earlier? No, you cannot take something earlier.
Oh, I mean, cannot.
I mean, if it makes sense to study earlier, why don't you do that?
All right.
Why don't you do that? Then you can study math closer to the exam. That's up to you, but whatever makes sense to you, you're planning, whatever makes sense to you, right? Michael, can I see your working? Follow.
Yeah. Wait.
So
This
when
seems very off.
Can I show me the question? Show me the question. Show me the question. Okay, so x is the acute angle, so that sine. Okay, fine. Find the auxiliary of tan z without the use of a calculator. So you started with a triangle of. You're assuming that the triangle is 90 degrees.
Well, no, I'm not assuming the triangle is 90 degrees. It's just I kind of drew a 90 degree, but don't mind the thing.
Okay. I'll pretend that we can do that. So tell me where you get all the three numbers, because I don't get what you're doing. I mean, I agree that there must be some sort of triangle, maybe, but you don't even draw the triangle. You're just drawing a 90-degree triangle. If it's a 90-degree triangle, it's not going to be very difficult. Huh? At least draw the triangle properly together with the 90-degree triangle. Then you stand some chance lah. Because I'm not even seeing a Z here. I don't even know where the Z is. Where is the Z in the triangle that you draw?
Oh,
Where is the Z? Right. I think perhaps drawing is involved lah. That much, I guess that's true lah. But then draw properly lah. Draw properly. Kyoko, okay, I cannot see your working. So zoom out a bit, please. Too close already. Too close. No. Move on from this question. Move on. Don't move on first. While waiting for me, move on. Yes, move here. Is it a cert? Yeah, it's a cert. Yeah, so let me see your cert. Let me see your. Okay, let me see your cert. Yes, see your cert. Have you decided on your days, Noah?
Yeah.
So, currently you will be studying electronic when?
14.
14. One day, 14.
Yeah.
Then one day after 20th.
Yeah.
Then the Tuesday before the electronics.
Yeah.
During the month of October, no other days for electronics. Just confirming. During the month of October, keep it simple.
Oh, there are maybe. Right.
At least plan until October, and then I think that's already good enough. That's already good enough for you. So
Okay.
during the month of October, what kind of electronic days will you give electronics? Okay, so Michael, at least you're giving some number, right? So even though you're using calculator, that's fine. That helps you imagine. Helps you imagine. So you have this, and then you have that. Okay, so still the mystery is how to get tangent Z without the use of calculator. That's still the mystery, right?
yeah.
Right. I'm going to follow from the triangle that you make, right? I'm going to follow. I agree that this may seem new, but I think there's some emath to use here. There's some emath to use. So Michael, let's make a new gem. No. Just use your old gem. So without, so not the holiday tuition one, right? Would you please go there? Okay, your step is not wrong, Kyoko, I guess. Not wrong. I guess that works. So I'm guessing this is this X? Is this what you meant by X, Michael?
Yeah.
Is this Y? And therefore, is this Z?
Yeah. And
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least the triangle is not 90 degrees. So, okay, it looks about right. Then how can I tell you without revealing? First, I'll use this A, I'll use this B, and you'll use this C. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. So
Oh.
I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right, but if I could get sine Z, then I can find tan Z, right? That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm aiming for. But is it possible to do that? Think about it for a while. Okay.
I'm aiming for tangent Z.
Yeah, but if you have sine Z, tangent Z is easy, man. No,
sure.
That doesn't make.
Not sure. Yeah.
Wait, you're not sure. So you're not sure if you have sine
no.
Z, you can find tangent Z, right?
No, I said like no, sure.
Yeah, you're very sure, right? If you can get sine Z or cosine Z, whichever, right? Yeah. So I'm just aiming for sine Z first, if it is possible using this method. Okay, so Noah, for your goal, you have 3 days of you have a total of 5 days for electron. You have 6 days. Or even the 30th you study electronic. Are you sure? The 30th is the day before science and history. Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this or not?
First.
I think that's a little bit of a bad planning. Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't do that. I think you shouldn't do that. Huh? Okay, right. Okay, you have 5 days to study electronic in the month of October, leading to the electronic day itself.
Yeah.
Right? Now, of course, you still have September, right? But this is October, so you plan for October first. Consider your goal now. This is the last thing. You list down your goal. And you have your L1, R5, and R4. Please consider, based on your goal, are this plan good enough or not? This is a very simple plan and easy to follow plan. You're saying that in this plan, the only problem is electronic, and you have figured it out already. The rest just go with the flow. That's what you're saying with this plan, correct?
Amen.
So when I need to study AMAT, I need to study AMAT, no? It's obvious, no? When I need to study EMAT, I study EMAT, lah. When I need to study for practical, I study practical, like something like that, lah. Make sense? That's the plan, lah. Nothing much in detail except electronics. I don't disagree with that as long as you look at your goal first. You list down your goal one more time and see whether this plan is adequate or not. If not, then we plan in a way so that you can increase your chance of success, lah. You understand me?
Yeah.
Look at your goal one more time. So, Kyoko, the answer is there's a root 2, but the answer seems weird, right? Whoa. Okay, now can you zoom in a little bit? Just a little bit. Okay. Oh, you have troubled yourself with the 2.5, isn't it? Would it be preferable to you if it is 28 on top instead? Would it have been preferable to you in exam? Don't erase anything. Okay, erasing is not good. The h could have been written as equal. Write down the h equal on the right hand side. On the right side. Okay, another, yeah, h equals to, you could have written 28 divided by 5 root 2 plus 8. This is correct and the same value as what you've written. Would you have preferred this?
Yeah.
Then try dealing with this, see whether you get the same answer, because you should be getting the same answer. Like, you should be. Your height is no, it's not extremely suspicious. No, it's not. It is probably acceptable, probably, but just to make sure. Just to make sure. Right. So Michael, is this giving us any value or not?
No.
How do I? Okay, so let's see whether we can try something else. No, it's the same thing, right? Unfortunately, it's the same thing. Yeah, I have to think about this. So Michael, let's not waste time for this question. I have to think about it, right?
Oh.
Right. Now for Kyoko, right? Now for the bot, wait, what? Oh my goodness, Kyoko. You did the same mistake twice. This is not good. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, Kyoko. The mistake that you're making here is not good at all. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. First of all, it's the minus 50 plus 64, right? First thing first. So this one is also wrong. It's minus 50 plus 64. Does it make sense? Right? So the bottom one should be okay, there is a lot of this. Right, so for this guy should have been 2 times 2.5 square, right? So let me think. Oh no, that is correct, is it? No, that's correct. Oh, sorry, that's correct. So there's a mistake here. Sorry. There's a mistake here. There's a mistake here also. Yeah, I don't get why you do those mistakes. Right. So Noah, have you come back with your goal?
Yeah.
Right. So consider your goal for EMath, AMath, and everything. Will the month of October be enough to support that goal? You will
No.
still have September. No. Okay. What's worrying you?
AMath and
Which-
electronics.
Sorry, electronics is worrying you, and sorry, what is it?
AMath.
AMath or
Humanities. And humanities.
sorry, electronics and humanities.
And AMath, yeah.
That's weird. You should have a lot of options for your L1 R5 one. Would you please write it down for me or type it for me in the Jamboard? What's your goal exactly for L1 R5? Because you have electronics one. Okay, Kyoko, your mistake, please. Kyoko, your mistake. Kyoko. Kyoko, your mistake, please. Kyoko. Page 4, Kyoko, your mistake. Jamboard. Your mistake, Kyoko. Right. So those are careless mistake, but this one is conceptual, I think. This worries me a lot. This is a mistake and this is a mistake. Can you see why? Oh, it worries me a lot. Oh, wow. If you cannot see the mistake, at least make some guess. Okay, Noma, your L1 R5 is this. I see. The one that is not included is your Chinese.
Yeah.
Oh, there is no other option. There is no other option.
No, nothing.
Your L1 R5 must be this. That's why. Okay, then tell me your goals, please. Tell me your goal.
How do I write down? Let's see.
If you don't mind, write down. If you don't mind. Right. Minimum goal, your minimum goal. If you cannot write a minimum goal, then write a range. Then write a range. So Kyoko, you don't understand the mistake, correct? This worries me. That means it's a conceptual. Now look at what I'm doing. 2a plus 6b, right? Right? Over 2. Okay, something like that, right? And then here I write down, this is now 4a plus, I think I'm going to write 4a plus 12b. Okay, now, does this look correct or not? Does this look correct or not? You decide, is this correct or not correct? Which one?
Correct.
Now, what you're saying is, Kyoko, what you're saying is, if I have, let's say I have 20 plus 60, make it easier, divided by 2, then the result will be equal to 40 plus 120. That's basically what you're saying. Correct or not? This is what you did. You say that this is correct. So it is equivalent to saying this. Correct? Does this look correct?
No.
So one more time. 20 divided by 2, and then 60 divided by 2, suddenly 20 becomes bigger. 60 becomes bigger, but it's divided by 2, or, divided by a number. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, then if this is wrong, then what should it be? Correct this one first. Also correct this one first. What should it be? Michael, are you okay so far? You haven't found the show. You haven't found the show. You haven't found the show. I would agree with you. I would agree with you. Now, fix this and fix that. You have two things to fix. Right, your EMAT is A1. Right, now decide your AMAT, please. You cannot say 3 or 2. Is it 3 to 2 or 2 to 1? Decide properly your goal, not your ability. I'm not asking you to estimate your ability right now. I'm asking you to set a goal. 3 to 2 or 2 to 1. Electronics 1, science 1. Humanities 3 plus. I don't get what it means. Is it 3 to 4 or is it 4 to 5 or what? Decide properly. You can have one range, right? You can have one range. 3 to 1.
Like 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, 3 plus means minimum is 3.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. Now I get it. Now, Michael, if you cannot find the show, at least do the part 2 first, right? Because part 2 has more marks and it is probably easier to do actually.
Yeah.
Your worst L1, R5 and L1, R4, right? Okay. Your worst L1, R5 is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 9, 13. 13. Then minus how many?
2.
Minus 2, right? So 13 minus 2, right? 13
Yeah.
minus 2 equals to 11. So 9, yeah. So your worst L1, R4 is 10 minus 2. Is it minus 2 also?
Yeah.
Right. 8. Okay. Right. So that's the worst. It can be better, right?
Yeah.
Can you accept this kind of result?
I mean, that's the goal, yes.
So yes. So if you get your L1, R5, 11, then of course you can go to quite a lot of options in JC. I think most of them are also quite close. So there are options which are close to your house also, right? And definitely it will have the subject that you choose, right? You were saying?
But even 11, like 3 schools only.
11. It depends on per year, but JPJC, right? JPJC, yep. Serangoon, Yishun, Innova. What's Innova?
Yeah, Yishun.
Innova Yishun, right? YIJC. So no ACJC, no AJC, no. Yeah. I mean, 11 is not. Well, it depends. Well, it does depend. Never mind. Are you happy with the choice? Are you happy with the choice?
Yeah, it's a goal.
Right. Understand. For your L1, R4?
Yeah, okay.
Right. Understood that. Then back to the planning. So will current planning, not very detailed, is enough for your goal? If not, then tell me your problem and then we'll end here. Right? Now, for you, Kyoko, are you clear? Are you clear with this so far? Right. Now, how is your cert and how is your discriminant? What do you think so far?
No, good.
Have you fixed some problem? Do you think you understand some of the problems, right?
Yeah.
The problems can be avoided, right? I think for the circle. For the discriminant, haven't explained to you. Haven't explained. So why don't you practice a bit more cert? There's one more below, right? One more below. Then practice that, and then let's call it a day for today, right? Let's call it a day for today. Right. So Michael, for the maximum volume. So I'm waiting for I'm waiting. Yep, waiting for that. Yep. Definitely waiting for this. Yes, Kakak Brian, are you okay? Kakak Brian?
Oh, yeah. I ended with Ines already.
All right. How is it, Brian?
It's okay lah. We did quite a bit like around 5 to 6 trigo. Quite tough ones, so good for him.
From his worksheet.
Correct.
The proving one and all.
Proving and solving.
Solving, right. What do you think about his solving?
Okay lah, but I mean can be better. I mean he just started, right? So
no, the solving one long time already.
Oh.
Because proving is the last one. Solving as in multiple answer, right? You have to, handle the multiple answer.
Yeah. I think we went through the draw the triangle in the quadrant, then don't use calculator, that type of question. I think he never do that before, so I had to go through with him.
Definitely not your fault. Okay, understand.
He understand quite easily lah. I teach one, then he can do the rest.
Yeah, because he went through that already. That means you revise with him lah. That means you revise with him.
Yeah.
Not that good, but not that bad lah. Not that good.
Okay.
Right. Then you went through some proving also lah with him. Proving is the hardest one for him so far lah. Obviously, for everybody.
Yeah.
What do you think about proving so far?
I mean, he couldn't do it because it was actually quite hard. It was like 4 to 5 marks type of question.
Oh, it is.
So I go through with him, but he understand quite easily. So it's okay.
Did you ask him to repeat, erase what you have done and then he repeat?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, right. Okay. Tomorrow, probably do the same thing, probably.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you for today, right? I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.
Right. So Michael, your method is definitely correct, lah. And then is the answer correct? I mean, it's not a lot of work for 6 marks, is it?
Well, I don't have the answer key actually, so I don't know.
Right. Looking at the method so far, yeah, I mean, it looks right. It really looks right? I mean, you were doing it in a complicated way and it doesn't matter much. Yeah, it's still correct. Yeah, definitely it's still correct. Yeah, totally fine. Yeah, it's great. Looks great. I mean, it's not worth 6 marks. It's more like it's worth 3 marks in exam, but still worth it, right? Still worth it. So hopefully tomorrow can continue the planning, right? And then I'll see you tomorrow, right? Okay, Michael?
Yeah.
Right. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Right. Okay, so Kyoko, you finish this one up now. So now, Noah, tell me your problem with what you feel is the problem compared to your goal. You said that electronic, you're not sure, correct?
Yeah.
What else is not sure? Humanities, not sure.
Yeah.
So even for B3 humanities, you're not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, then what else?
AMAT.
AMAT, you're not sure you'll get A2. You're not sure.
Yeah.
So for AMAT, we are dealing with this in-holiday tuition, right? So you'll miss some. You'll miss some. I'll try not to miss a lot. So just catch up, right? The goal, I'll just tell you very briefly first what we're doing so that tomorrow when you catch up at night, right, you know what's going on because, people are already doing that. So I want you to catch up, right? So what we're doing is I am increasing your control. That is what I am training you to do from right now, so that you will influence how you practice. But the main point is I am making it less random. AMAT, it will seem very random, unpredictable compared to EMAT, for example. No, I will explain to you guys how to make it very predictable, and also very reliable.
Okay.
That is what it means to give you more control.
So in terms of what, like the questions we approach now?
Yeah. So I'm setting you, okay, I'm telling you, okay, this is the expectation. You probably never see it or expect it this way, but you guys at this level have the experience to understand already. So I'm telling you, this is the expectation. That is the expectation. If you never see it that way, please consider it and expect it that way.
Okay.
This topic, expect this topic, expect that. Secondly, if you do it in this order, I'll tell you the benefit. So if you do it in your preferred order, you increase your control and of course, some sort of speed also.
Yeah.
Speedier, but mainly more control and also more time for confirmation. The confirmation is the reliability part.
Okay.
If you do all that, A2 should not be far from reach, especially if you train like that.
Especially if I what?
You want A2 for A method, right? Good for you, good for JC. It shouldn't be far from your reach. It shouldn't be. Because you have to make up for your kind of lack of creativity. Like you may stumble when the exam feels alien, right? It feels weird. You may even freeze. We try to increase your ability to handle that by giving you more control first. We have to start from there. Before you talk about how I'm going to handle things which looks new, you have to be able to handle things which are actually not new. I hope that makes sense. For you, I think that's the best way of doing it. Right. So again, we're going to do that in holiday tuition. So that's not planning, that's training, but that will influence the way you prepare, right? So we start from now. So that's it first. So nothing special on the planning side first. In the end, look at where you can study AMAT. I mean, you will study AMAT after the 20th October, correct or not?
Yeah.
You won't study AMAT too much before EMAT because you're worried about other things.
Yeah.
Right. So AMAT study time in October is around there already. If you want to improve in September, which is now.
Okay.
If that makes sense, right? So you're not worried about your science, huh? You're very sure, right? Because get your A1 for science, huh? Get your SI. Sorry?
I mean, there are some areas to brush up, but should be manageable.
Leave it to you, lah. Leave it to you. I'll leave it to you. Because for Aryan and Mike, we have to improve the science. I mean, let's aim higher for the most. So now, sorry?
Is the improvement for them going to be in the holiday tuition as well?
Yeah, which you probably don't need because we're dealing with paper 2. Their paper 2 is different from your, so to speak, paper 2. Their paper 2 is much harder. Right? Your problem is you have to aim for A1. But if you know how to study for it, then good for you. Right? Now, let me also emphasize this because you so that you don't. So your EMAT should be aiming for 91%. That's A1, right? Difficult. Your AMAT should be aiming for 85%, but 85% is A1. Maybe it's A2, maybe it's A1, but I think that's a good aim. Just saying, right? Right. So now let's handle your humanities. Now, let's say your humanities get 4. A bit sad, right? A bit sad, correct or not?
Yeah.
Your English can get 2 or not?
Yeah. No, but maybe.
Right. So is it possible to make it up that way or no? It's really up to chance.
No, that's possible.
I'm sorry?
It could be possible.
Right. So if you cannot help it with your humanities, then you must improve your English. Keeping it simple. Because the others are very difficult to improve already.
Yeah.
It's either 1, 1, 1 or 2. Improving AMAT from 2 to 1 is gonna be up to our performance on that day. That one you have to be prepared to get 2, not 1. You have to be prepared. I mean, even EMAT might not get 1, it might not. There's always that thing, right?
But for example, are we doing real life question practices?
If your EMAT is aiming for 1, we have to deal with that. There are special techniques for it. There are special conditioning for it. There are special ways of doing it. So yeah, if you're aiming for A1, yeah, you cannot escape. Okay, so yes, we will do our best to study. Everybody needs to do that also. Okay. So now left electronics. I'll leave you to plan electronics. Please plan in a way that you're happy with your October. Right? Please plan in that way. Now, Kyoko, I'm looking at your. So plan in a way, if it is possible, like readjust your plan, and then we'll call it a day. Right? So Kyoko, the exact value of PQ square. Okay. Okay, right. Okay, understand. Then that's a plus. I can understand. So, do I know what changes do you make for electronics?
I didn't make any change.
Is this the best plan you could come up for electronics then for October?
Yeah,
then make full use of it. We'll talk about how to make full use of it next time. But make full use of these 5 days plus the September. Right? Now, are you reasonably happy with your state of planning so far?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then let's stick with this planning and we can always improve along the way. Right? Okay. Is the plan, let me confirm, is the plan easy for you to follow?
Maybe I could get tired along the way.
Because you never plan for your rest.
What?
Your rest.
Yeah.
You never plan for your rest. It's a marathon. Those who don't plan for their rest, well, it's like saying that you can do a basketball competition for 2 months straight. Well, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
The one who suffer is the one at the last one, electronics. So you haven't planned for your rest. Let me see your rest plan tomorrow. Okay? Right? I'll see you tomorrow. Right? So Kyoko, again, show me. So yeah. All right. See. That makes sense. Right. Okay. So what's your concern with PQ square, Kyoko? Or is there any concern?
It's just like this part. I'm scared that I'll make a mistake because I did just now. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the medicine for that, I mean, back then you were saying you prefer to be a robot. That means you prefer to be perfect or not making any mistake. Right? Rather than to make mistake but able to correct them. Your stage right now is you make mistake and you cannot correct them. I still have to tell you. You're afraid that you make mistake and you don't know how to find them. So you are neither a good robot or a good human being in that sense. I mean, in the sense that a good math student. Sorry. You're either not a good math robot or a good math student, right? Judging from your careless mistake, I'm worried that there are some foundational problems. So I'm still not sure how to minimize your mistake, because to minimize your mistake, your foundation must be very good, right? I cannot simply tell you, yeah, this one you're correct, that one you're wrong. That doesn't help you anyone because I'm not present in exam. Okay, I don't know how to make you a very good math robot right now. I still don't know, right? Hopefully you'll get there. That's your wish, right? So I'll give you the second best option according to you. I'll give you a way to confirm and check whether you're right or wrong. Okay. Right. So it's not very complicated. You have a calculator, right? Why don't you press the calculator for the 16 minus 10 quadratic? So you put that in calculator and then you compare that with the final answer also in calculator. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So please do that and show me your calculator.
I compare the
by Pythagoras theorem. You're afraid that your quadratic expansion is wrong, correct? You're afraid of that. So very simple, right? You will compare before the expansion and after the expansion, correct or not? See whether they are the same or not. If that's what you're worried about. It's not that difficult to, get some certainty lah. Let me see how you use it. So let me see your calculator. Okay, now you're not going to worry about 16. You're going to do a big bracket. You're going to do a big bracket around these two things, a very big bracket. So bracket out and bracket out, right? And then you're going to divide. Okay, your habit of confirmation must be fast and good. Divide, divide, press divide, bracket, final answer. Initial divided by final. Understand? Or at least before you're worried, divided by after you're worried lah. And the answer is 1. What does that mean? You do not understand what that means?
It's the same.
So before the expansion, which you're worried about, compared to after your expansion, they are both the same. What does that mean to you in exam?
The expansion is correct.
Yeah. How can it be wrong, right? If, before and after is the same. Unless you do, an accidental mistake to make it even correct, but you just don't worry about that. Does this solve your worry somewhat in exam?
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't mean that you're correct, yeah? But at least that 3 lines seems to be correct. At least so. Right? So are you ready to check the answer key?
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead. Congratulations. What am I congratulating you at, Kyoko? I'm congratulating you for confirming in exam. For confirming before you see the answer key, which is not going to be there in exam, right? So how do you feel after the calculator if you are in exam?
Like confident.
Yeah, not fully confident, right? Not 100% confident, to be fair. But is it peaceful enough for you to let go? Right? This is the best that you can do, lah. Right? For exam, maybe that's enough, right? For exam, maybe that's enough, right? Do not rely on your, do not rely on your peace on your answer key only. That's very bad. But you know this already, right? Because in exam, it doesn't exist. Then your peace is gone because your answer key is gone. Wow, that's bad, right? That's just really bad, right? Okay. Spend some time confirming. This will be part of my training from now on. You have to confirm from now on. You are not very diligent at confirming. Because your goal has always been to be a good math robot. But you still have foundational problem, right? So unless you can settle it, you have to stick to confirmation instead. Okay. So one more time, what is the price that you pay if you're not a good math robot? That means you make mistake. What is the price that you have to pay in exam?
Confirming?
Yes. You don't pay with marks. You pay with time. Better, right? Better than paying marks, right? That's the price. If you can be a good math robot, then you don't need tuition already. Good for you. Just be careful. Math robot are not very good at dealing with unexpected questions. They're very good at dealing with expected question or familiar question. The unexpected one, not so much. So there are some weaknesses to being a math robot, but it's probably good if you can. Now, my suggestion remains, be a good human, be a good math student so that you can handle your own mistake and you also can handle the unexpected question. You become better, is what I feel. Okay, I wish that you will want that more than becoming a math robot. I wish that you will want to reduce your mistake, but also to be able to handle your mistake if it happens. Okay. If you can change your mind, please do so. If not, then we'll just develop accordingly. Okay. Now, any other question?
Other than the discriminant, no.
Yeah. We'll handle discriminant tomorrow. We'll go slow. Okay.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Now,
Bye-bye.
first session. For the first session, is it okay to start that early or not?
If earlier, I think it will be better because I need to eat lunch. Yeah.
So it's either earlier or later. Is what you're saying?
Because I eat lunch like around 12 to 1 like 2 p.m. Around that time. Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully we can make the change on 2 days from now or tomorrow. We'll just start at 12:30. Is that okay? Then hopefully on the next day after tomorrow we can push it further. Okay, so let's compromise. Okay.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.